calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
Name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome to a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. We are online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch the program on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube and see all of our videos, including this show, The Brian Bailey Show, which debuted its fall debut earlier today at noon. You can catch that. Also, all of our post-practice interviews. Mike Houston, a lot of the Pirate players talked earlier today. You can find those on YouTube as well at Pirate Radio TV. All right, coming up on today's show, we'll run through the guest list real quick. We got the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us a little later on this hour to talk about what's going on in the world of sports from a gambling perspective. Billy Weaver will join us to talk some Pirate football, some NASCAR, and more. Stephen Igoe, fresh off the ECU practice fields, will be here at 4:30 and at 5:30. For the first time, we'll have Ron Cook on the show. He is the new head football coach at Farmville Central, former Virginia Tech Hokie, played against the Pirates in that Thursday night game where Michael Vick and the Hokies came to town to face David Garrard. Big game atmosphere. And the Hokies, Troy D, you might remember that one. Took it to the Pirates on that Thursday night on ESPN.
Unfortunately.
Troy D is here to kick off today's show. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, Glenn Griffin, and Eric Gullickson from WITN Sports making his Pirate Radio debut, as we'll get to know him as well. Eric, how you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show today. We'll talk some sports with you in a moment.
The new guy.
He is the new guy in town.
Yeah.
But it's Tuesday. It's not a Troy D day. This is like when Vince McMahon shows up on Raw. Something's going on.
All right, Clip Rock.
Something's happening. If
this
Vince
is not a normal. This is not a normal appearance time for me.
Troy, why are you here?
I got to tell you.
Am I getting fired?
No, you're good.
All right.
Absolutely.
It's Glenn,
absolutely not, I should say. No one's getting fired.
Not even Glenn?
No.
Are you sure you don't want to fire Glenn?
No.
All right.
And if I did, I would not do it on the air. It's not my style.
It's me.
Now, surely I would do on the air.
Let's make a big deal out of that.
Yeah, because it would be great programming.
All right, nobody's getting fired.
No, nobody's getting fired.
Good.
But I am fired up to talk about this Clip Rock.
Wow.
I tell you what, I cannot wait to spill the beans on all of this, because we have been working hard on something that we have never done before. What I can tell you right now is we are going to make this huge, big announcement.
Huge, big.
Huge, big. I wasn't sure whether to go huge or big. So
you always go huge.
I know. So I went huge, big. Got to shake it up a little bit. Wednesday, August 11th, at noon, beginning at noon. This announcement's so big, it might take us an hour to make it, Clip. So we're going to do it on our social media. Pirate Radio Facebook, Pirate Radio Twitter, Pirate Radio Instagram. If you want to be the first to hear about it, Wednesday, August 11th at noon on all our social media platforms. We're going to make this announcement. All I will say is this. We have never done this before. So this isn't like something, we're overhyping and we're just rehashing or some BS announcement like other radio stations do. This is a legit, big time.
Or like you have done in the past.
Stop that, Cliff Brock. Never overhype something.
Never. That's not your DNA.
No.
Was that supposed to be fun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
This is going to be special, and you know it's going to be special. You know it.
I do know.
I know. And I can't wait to talk about it.
I don't really like talking about things that I can't talk about.
I know, but I had to promote that we're going to be announcing it at noon, and then I'll be back tomorrow at 3, and we can talk about it, what this means in detail.
It is.
And not just for Pirate Radio, but for our listeners.
Can we even throw hints?
This is not about...
Can we say it's football related?
Me or you. This is about our listeners and viewers.
Can we say it's football related?
Yes. That's
Okay.
as far as I'll go. It's football related.
All right.
That's it. Don't prod me anymore.
Yes,
You know me. Stop asking. So quit asking.
Will it impact our football coverage?
I'm not answering any more questions at this time. I appreciate you wanting to ask questions, but we will answer all of these.
I think the listeners
tomorrow at
appreciate
3.
that.
But we're going to announce the announcement Wednesday at noon on social media.
This is an announcement to announce that we have an announcement.
Correct.
Okay.
We have major news to share. We're going to begin that news Wednesday at noon.
Oh.
And we just don't want to spring the news on you. We wanted to spring the news that we've got big news for you. And this is big news. And once again, this is something, Pirate Radio, in the history of Pirate Radio, we're going into year 19. We've never done this before. And it's going to be big, and I think people are going to love it.
Eric, we're giving you your own show. Sight unseen.
He's just seeing the look on his face like, what the hell?
Oh, no.
I thought maybe they were talking about, you demonstrating the football skills. They're taking you to the next level, Cliff.
No, it's not going to. It's huge news.
It is.
It's
Cliff's
huge
more of a
news.
basketball guy if he was going to go to the next level athletically.
I can shoot the J.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Although, if we ever put you on the offensive line?
We've not.
Yeah. I mean, you could potentially be a good lineman.
So could you.
I could.
Yep.
Thanks.
Wednesday, August 11th at noon. And as you said, the news will be trickling out.
It starts at noon.
Yeah.
We should be done by 1. But we've got some exciting news. I think people are going to be fired up about this.
All right. There you go.
I know this. We are fired up about it.
We're fired up.
I'm fired up about it.
Yeah.
And I think...
You're going to be excited.
Yes.
It's going to be cool.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Excitement time!
Excitement time!
Very much so. Very cool, fun, exciting, big news.
All right.
Huge big.
Yes,
You
very
said-
good. Way to go,
Thank you.
Eric.
Eric's on board.
Yeah, no, you catch the play.
He doesn't even know what it is, but he knows it's huge big.
I bet you'll be tuned in.
I'm excited just listening to you.
He's going to be dialed up at noon on his social media account. Make sure you're following Pirate Radio, Eric.
I will.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
We're good to go?
I did say I got a follow from you the other day. I was like, who's this guy? I was like, oh, it's the new guy from ITN.
Did you follow him?
I don't. Did I follow you back?
Oh, that's a
I think you did.
What a jerk.
I might have. I thought I did.
I think you did.
I was a little distracted. I was at the beach, I think, when it happened, Clip. So if I didn't, I'll have to go back and do that.
10-4. You can take that over there, Eric. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I gave Eric the courtesy DM like I do when every new sports guy comes to town.
That's
and
nice.
wanted to get him on the show just to get to know him, him to get to know us.
Yeah.
Have the break bread, olive branch, all those.
Well, I know
things.
not. This is the first time we've met.
Yeah.
Like literally on air. This is the first time I've met someone on air. It's kind of new.
Huh? Like it's a blind interview.
Yeah, it's like a blind date on air. It's gonna be a new game show.
I did send you two together so y'all can get to know each other.
Come meet Troy D live on the air.
This is a new segment we're doing every Tuesday, Troy.
Eric, so far so good.
Well, I'm like
You've let Troy talk the whole time. You're doing a great job.
I'm a big fan of yours already.
That Eric guy, he lets me talk a lot.
He's great. Great segment, Clip. I'm glad we did this. Thanks for coming in, Eric.
I don't know if I should talk here.
Let's do the rundown. Let's get to know Eric a little bit.
Let's get to know Eric. I would like to get
we dive into ECU. We got college football to talk about.
Who is Eric?
Who is Eric? Eric, who are you?
Well, I'm the new sports guy at WITN, but I moved here from Bangor, Maine. I've been there for the last 8 years. I was covering my alma mater. I went to the University of Maine, so that was a pretty sweet thing to get to do.
Black Bears?
Black Bears.
All right.
And originally from Minnesota, worked in a couple markets in Minnesota before moving back to Maine.
How long have you been at WITN now?
It'll be a month on the 12th.
Okay.
You are drinking from a fire hose right now because you've got ECU football, you've got high school football. I saw you yesterday at the Big Carolina 3A, 4A media days, and you were not only like, we've been around a while, so we want to know how the teams are doing. You're trying to get to know the coaches and the schools at this point.
It was a good chance, though. I mean, they were all there. They were all really pretty receptive to that. Unfortunately, some of it was done during our interviews, so you guys were getting the highs and lows of. I remember back when in 1997 you took this team to the state game, and I was like, "Hey, how do you spell your name again?"
Yeah, it's a challenging time to go into a new market. But what are your favorite sports to cover?
I love football.
Yeah.
For news side, covering football is tops, but I've always been a big baseball guy ever since I was a little kid, and played baseball when I was younger, and never really lost that bug. So it's one of the hardest things to cover, I think, for television purposes, just shooting, and the games are long, but I love it. I love being out there. I love the atmospheres of both those sports.
Favorite teams?
So I've lived in New England a long time, so I'm a big New England fan. A lot of people shake their heads when I tell them I like the Patriots and the Red Sox.
You have a reason,
but
I guess.
I do. I lived there before and then moved back, so I guess I've been in Maine probably, 15 years of my life, and
saw a lot of winning. Yeah. Troy, any questions for Eric?
Is it just you right now? So I know a lot of people are wondering about the sports department at WITN because Tyler Philman left also. So are you like a one-man band?
Right now it's just me doing sports, and they're trying to kind of change the way that we do it with more of a feature-based mentality than highlights.
Yeah.
Do more people stories that maybe, as my old boss used to put it, like his mother, who was in her 80s or 90s, could watch and be interested in. So try to do that side of sports.
Yeah. How do you like, the industry's constantly changing stuff, especially the TV industry. How do you like that adjustment?
It's a lot to go into what we were just saying, where I'm meeting people at the football thing, but also asking them, hey, do you have somebody that is on the singing choir that just won the nationals and also is the best football player around, or stuff like that. But I just like meeting people. It's really, a lot of people are really interesting, and maybe me coming in with that I don't know anyone, I can ask a lot of questions.
Do a lot of human interest kind of stories.
Get that stuff.
You'll be getting to know them the same time the TV audience is getting to know them. So everybody's going to be introduced to one another. Eric Gullickson joining us. Want to go to the sports?
Yeah, let's do the rundown.
Well, Eric, do you know anything about East Carolina before you got here into town?
I remember some very, very good football teams because I watched college. I watched when I had before doing sports on TV, I could actually watch football.
Good point.
So I watched a lot of college football, and I remember some very, very good teams and seeing them on Saturday afternoons.
It is hard to be a fan and enjoy football when you're working a game. It's kind of like if you have a favorite restaurant you eat at, but then you become a server at that restaurant. It takes some of the luster off, when you're behind the scenes and when you're working, you can't enjoy it as much.
I did get the opportunity with one of our promo shoots to go up in the tower at the stadium, and we could see down, and I was just kind of imagining what that's like in a full house, and I think that's going to be really cool because the school I'm coming from, we get 10 or 12,000 people at a game, and that was really good, but in comparison, that's pretty small.
What was the school called?
University of Maine.
Oh, okay.
The state up there at the top.
Yeah.
They play in the FCS, and they play with Elon and James Madison, ironically.
All right, trivia question for Clip Rock. What's their nickname?
Wow.
Don't help him.
Troy, I said it literally 5-6 minutes ago. Yeah. Black Bears.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, wow, okay.
You okay?
No, I forgot.
We've already done this part of the show.
I know, but I forgot.
He was still excited about the big, huge
Eric, it's a huge, big announcement. Let's get it right.
The Maine Black Bears, Troy D.
The Black Bears.
Yep.
Wow.
I think he's been around Chandler a little too long.
That
do you have Black Bear gear?
I do have lots of.
Is it like a big bear on it?
It is a grumpy-looking bear on the front.
See, this is how fortunate we are to be Pirates here.
Yeah.
See, sometimes you
cool
take
logo.
it for granted.
Cool mascot.
Pirates are a lot cooler than Black Bears.
Pirates are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I will say.
No, I am a Chicago Bears fan, and they have a lot of cool gear there, but Black Bears sound a little different.
You guys have a brown bear, though, right?
We are. Yeah,
Chicago Brown Bears.
Yeah. That doesn't sound as good. It's just the Bears.
You guys are what? Y'all good at hockey?
Yeah, they haven't
Like
been
the
for a
bean
while.
pot?
Yeah.
Whatever. What am I
No,
thinking
they don't
about?
play in the bean pot. But
Who's that?
That's all the
Boston?
Boston schools.
Okay.
It's BCBU,
Okay, there you
Northeastern,
go.
and Harvard.
See, I tried to.
Yeah,
Pretend
I
I
picture
knew
Maine as like big cornhole like champions up there.
I actually know a guy that makes the boards.
See,
he's a coach of the girls basketball team.
I just feel like at
One of
Maine
the
that's a
girls'
popular
basketball team.
activity.
Interesting, you figured that one out. That's pretty neat. That's cool. All right, ECU Fall Camp, Troy D. Another hot one out there today. Let's hear Mike Houston's opening comments, Shirley Rhodes, earlier this afternoon.
Nice, cool day for practice today. First day in full pads. Really pleased with a lot of things during practice. We did have high temperatures this morning. It was a cooker out there with the humidity, and in full pads and the energy up. But I tell you, the kids didn't disappoint. Started off with a live goal line 11-on-11 drill, and I thought for the first day live contact in that situation, that area of the field, thought we executed pretty clean down there. You just worry. First day of contact, a lot of times you see some sloppy stuff, but I thought that was a very clean drill. And, good inside run period for the first day. And then I thought they really pushed through and finished practice very strong. Had a good, field goal work at the end and a pretty high energy team period at the end. So, good first day in pads.
We got some great pictures, video on our social media sites. Glenn Griffin, Jenny Shelton doing a great job covering fall camp thus far. And Troy, first day of pads, they were popping out there today.
Yeah, they've had, camp's only been going on so long. They've had a little variety of everything. I saw the other day, I think it was this weekend, it was raining out there, which is good. They they didn't go in. Some teams go in when it starts raining, that you might have to play a game in the rain. It wasn't lightning. So they stayed out there. Made for some great visuals. The pictures on the rain looked really cool. If you haven't seen those, once again, that's on our social media pages. But today was the heat. It did, this was the, not just regular heat, the humidity was back today, and this is kind of the dog days of August, as they used to call them. And this is good practice for football. This is football weather right here.
This you could be feeling this September 11th when South Carolina comes to town at noon.
I think you will be.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, those noon kickoffs, especially to start the season, it will be hot as Hades in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. I call it, Eric, you're not used to this because you're from Maine, but when you can sit in the stadium, it's one thing like if you're working outside and you have an outdoor job, you're with the landscape crew, you're going to get sweaty, right? You're doing stuff outside. When you're just sitting in the stadium and you're not doing anything, but you're just sitting still watching a football game and your shins begin to sweat, I call it, that's a shin sweat game. It's hot.
A shin sweater.
When you have a shin sweat game, it is freaking hot out there. And I'm telling you, we are good for 2 or 3 shin sweat games a year.
Shin sweat.
Get yourself ready.
I'm ready for shin sweat.
I'm not your chin. Shin.
Shin.
What? Hey, I want to explain that. Your shin on your leg, the front of your leg, kids that haven't studied anatomy yet. The front of your leg, beneath your knee and above your foot is your shin. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot of meat on your shin. Mm-hmm. Even if you're a beefier guy, your shin's pretty thin. It's not like an area that sweats a lot.
Really going into detail here.
But when your shin sweats, it's hot, and it's going to sweat a lot. September
the 11th. Nooner, South Carolina.
Yeah, get ready.
Hopefully your shins will be nice and dry on the opener September 2nd, Troy D.
Hope so.
That is a night game, 7:30 kickoff.
It'll still be a little swampy down there in Charlotte.
Yeah, for the first half especially. Man, I saw a tweet last night and thought about you, Troy. Last night was it was the last time the sun will set after 8 p.m. in New York.
Because every day is getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
I know. I've tried not to think about it because it's still summertime. And these people that want to end summer because school's starting back, I don't care if school's starting back. It's still summertime. Let's not pack up the summer bags just yet. It is still summer. And in fact, you get summer heat through September. So let's just slow the roll on packing up summer, everybody. Summer's still here.
Troy, your summer ends when you say it ends.
That's true.
It has nothing to do with anyone else. Don't let anybody tell you.
I know, but I just saw some people trying, summer's over, back to school. Where was I the other day? And freaking Sam's Club. I was at Sam's Club this weekend. You know what they have out in Sam's Club?
Halloween
decorations, freaking candy. the whole 9 yards. I'm like, this was like in July still. It was like last week. I was like, it's July, and they got freaking Halloween out at Sam's Club. Calm down, Walmart.
As long as there's shin sweat games, it is still summer.
Right.
Yes, there we go.
That's exactly right, Eric.
That's how Troy determines the seasons. He looks down at his shins.
Until I can't wear shorts and flip-flops, it's summertime.
Yeah, so we're riding this thing into November, at least.
I know, but I hate that the days do get shorter. I love a long day, like light-wise. I love how it stays light till like 8:45, you know.
You ever thought of moving to the Pacific time zone just to...
God, you know that? I have never thought about that.
Yeah.
I have relatives that live out there. Does it stay lighter later out there?
Well, I'm just saying
it's all relative.
Things are, your sports are earlier, so you have like more time in the day to do other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pros and cons.
Maybe as the as we get closer to winter, you just keep moving to the west.
I was thinking moving south.
Yeah, well, you could be like a duck, I guess, fly south.
Yeah. I would love just the months that kind of suck, that are cold, December, January, February. If you just got rid of those months of the calendar year.
Oh, yeah, you won't like
I'd want to go from October to like March.
Some sort of 3-month coma type thing, like a pill.
Yeah, or we could just skip those 3 months. Like we have a 9-month year and we lose the cold months.
Yeah, but just because you take the words away, they're still going to have cold months.
Right. Well, I'm just saying you'd have to take the weather with it.
Yeah.
Like if you could just, get fast forward through.
We're kind of talking like otherworworldly God type beings.
Perhaps a coma. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that would obviously be more
realistic. It's a little more realistic, yeah. With the right medical professional.
All right, so there's your Pirate football update, Eric. Hope you learned a lot.
Hot.
I did.
It is. We'll have more from Mike Houston. We'll hear from Blake Harrell, also Keaton Mitchell, and Rajay Harris, Fernando Fry, Xavier Smith later on in the show when we talk to Igoe. Troy, the coaches poll is out. Guess who's in the top 10? Guess who's overrated again?
Overrated.
It might be. No, it's still not justified.
Florida State. Don't tell me UNC is in the top.
North Carolina, of course they are.
Come on.
They're ranked in the top 25 every year.
Stop it.
Top 10 this year.
Are you serious? Top 10?
Number 9 in the coaches poll.
Wow.
Now, they do have the quarterback who could be the best in college football, according to some. Mac is back. The recruiting's been up, but every year they are overvalued, and this year they are 9th in America.
How about Cincinnati? Pretty strong for the American.
Coming in at 10, I mean, do you think that's fair? They're behind, of course, the big boys with Bama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State. That's your top 4. Georgia, A&M, Notre Dame. Iowa State's coming off a great year. Coach stays, so they have a reason to be that high.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only one I have a problem with is North Carolina.
Right.
Cincinnati coming in at 10.
Yeah. Look, that's about as good as Cincinnati can hope for, not being, unfortunately, a Power 5 school.
Preseason-wise, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Now, they can earn their way if they continue to win, they'll earn their way up.
So. And if you're high enough at that spot, if you lose the game, you're probably out of the whole thing.
Probably.
But they play at Indiana, at Notre Dame, Troy.
Tough schedule.
Back to back.
That is.
You win those games, though, you're top 3 easily.
Yeah. Well, depends who loses in front of you still. But you were a legit team if you start this season 4-0 right there.
And then you get into conference play.
Hey, and don't sleep on Miami, Ohio for their opener.
All right.
The Redbirds are always kind of a little bit tough.
Is that Maction?
It is. Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
My cousin went to Miami, Ohio.
Red Hawks.
Red Hawks, what did I say?
Redbirds.
Yeah. They used to be, they had to change it. They used to be Redskins.
Redskins, yeah.
Yeah. And they changed it. That's right, Red Hawks.
Miami of Ohio football team.
Will your team change it to the Red Hawks?
I would like to go Red Wolves. I would be fine with staying Washington football team. But if you're going to make the change.
I did think about this. I was like, what about the Washington Reds? And I was like, someone's got the Reds already.
Yeah, but
Cincinnati.
Somebody's got the Eagles. Somebody's got the Bears.
They could come up with a different logo and be the Reds.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Washington Reds?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't mind
I was just curious. I was just throwing it out there.
I don't mind it, but what is it?
I don't know.
Really just
what are the Cincinnati Reds?
I don't know. It's a weird guy with a baseball for a head. That's all I know.
Yeah, Mr. He's not Mr. Med. Right? He's Mr. Red, I guess.
Mr. Red.
Throw a mustache on him, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I don't think they'll go with it.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about I don't mind the Washington football team.
I don't either. I think it's unique.
Because I was thinking about other like team names and logos and stuff. And you think about once you hear them so often, sometimes you don't even think about them. Like the Chicago White Sox. Like it sounds normal, but then you start thinking about this team's named after a white sock.
Did you like when I tweeted that?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think we talked about it too.
Oh, we did.
But you can take the joke.
Or Boston. They're a red sock,
and we just accept it.
Yeah, like why is your team named after a red sock?
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. If somebody did that today,
they'd be crucified.
They'd be absolutely blasted.
Oh,
but right now, White Sox and Red Sox, we say it like it's absolutely normal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Black Bears. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That does sound weird to me.
No, it's a cool name.
No, I don't know about that. I'm not down with it.
But yeah, I don't know. How did we get here? Oh, Miami of Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we got here.
Don't sleep on them.
Don't sleep on Miami of Ohio, Troy D.
Wow, Alabama first place came in preseason. Who knew?
You shocked?
I'm shocked.
Shocked at that one?
Totally.
I wonder if Clemson made it this year.
So who out of these, Troy, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State?
That's the problem with college football. It's the same every year.
Who has the who's most likely to not be there
at the end of the year?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about what Ohio State has this year, but out in Oklahoma too. Oklahoma, it always comes down to their quarterback.
Well, they have a great quarterback in Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call.
Out of the four,
I'd take
Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State. Who's most likely to not be there at the end?
I would have to say Ohio State because of they have to win. If they don't win out, Big Ten doesn't get in.
You're saying Bama could lose one, maybe Clemson could lose one, still get in?
I think so, especially if North Carolina is as good as they say they are.
Yeah,
they might still get in.
We shall see. Coaches poll came out today, Troy. The only other non-Power 5, quote-unquote, schools to make the top 25, Louisiana and Coastal Carolina.
Look, you got to give Coastal Carolina credit. Top 25 to start the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see Coastal Carolina replaced with East Carolina in this top 25 before the end of the year.
And we'll take their College World Series run, too.
Yeah.
For trade
these guys are living our life.
I know. And they're at the beach.
I know. They're at the beach. They won a College World Series. They're in the top 25 in football.
Troy D's Luke.
Damn, I wonder if I should transfer to Coastal Carolina.
He's jealous he's not a Chanticleer right now.
Terrible nickname, though. Terrible nickname.
Yeah. All right.
You know how hard that is to print on shirts?
Yeah, and to say.
Yeah.
MLB playoff picture. We can bypass this. Do you have a baseball team, Eric?
That Red Sox team that you guys were
that's
Red Sox.
Yeah.
That idiotic name, Red Sox. Who have been floundering a little bit second half of the season, right?
Yeah, very confusing. Amazing first half. Hopefully getting Chris Sale back soon.
Oh, that's right. And the big lefty.
Cubs trade everybody away. Yep. Will it pay off for them 2 years from now?
2, no. Probably more like 4.
Think it'll take that long?
I mean, how long has it taken the Orioles here since they're rebuilt?
Yeah, they've been rebuilding a while.
We're in year 3 or 4.
Yeah. But it also depends who's doing the rebuilding and picking.
True. Yeah.
You got to make the right choices.
The Cubs did get 2 good middle infielders in their deals. One from the Madrigal, I believe his name. I've heard his name a lot.
Nick Madrigal.
Because of MLB The Show. I bet your kids know who he is.
Oh, they know all these guys. Absolutely.
Former top pick for the White Sox, who I actually was just about to mention. Maybe it's because I haven't watched that much Major League Baseball this year, but a team that is is really killing it right now that I didn't realize until my roommate, who's a White Sox fan, the Chicago White Sox.
They are 21 games over 500. They're 10.5 games up in their division.
They've been getting a lot of national games lately on TV, too.
Right.
They've been back to back. They were on ABC the other night. They were on ESPN last night.
I saw them last night.
By the way, Troy, I know you're not a huge baseball guy, but coming up Thursday, they're having the Field of Dreams game.
Oh, I do want to see that, though. I think it's cool.
They're in a field in Iowa.
It's gimmicky, but I'm in.
Yeah.
I watched Field of Dreams over the weekend. I believe it was Saturday I watched it on MLB Network.
You got to flip over just to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
We're now
Fox, I believe.
Fox Thursday night?
Yes.
8 o'clock?
Something around
Who's playing in it again?
The White Sox and the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. That'll be, I'll tell you what, that's kind of cool. I wonder how many fans can attend.
They're wearing the old school.
The jerseys look cool.
Is this something like they're only going to have like 100 people in attendance?
Well, it's more like a minor league park because the seats are behind and there's no seats beyond the fence because it is a field. It is a couple fields. So it'll look like, I'm trying to pull it up, Troy.
Yeah.
So you'll have, it looks like pretty good amount of seats behind, but again.
But still, compared to a Major League Park, you're talking about maybe 1,000 people that can be there.
You have nobody beyond the fence. You have no upper deck. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of like old school lights, too. It's probably going to look different on TV.
Yeah, I like it. As I said, kind of gimmicky, but I'm in. I think the ratings will probably be good for that.
Eric, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thanks for having me over.
We'll get you back on to talk more sports with you, but you are handling sports at WITN. Anything else we need to know about you? Anything to plug?
We're just going to go as hard as we can and do the best we can to meet everyone and get some great stories out there on people.
Good stuff. Eric Gullickson joining us for the first time
nice
here
meeting you, man.
On Pirate Radio Live. Troy D, big announcement coming up noon. Huge Wednesday.
Social media. So it's coming up on Pirate Radio social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Starting at noon, we will be making that announcement. We'll be back here. I'll be back here with you, Clip, at 3, talking about it, what it means, what that means for our listeners, and why we are doing it, and the ramifications of this big positive announcement. Once again, charting new ground, something we've never done before.
First time ever
here at Pirate Radio in 19 seasons. We will talk about it tomorrow, and we will release that information at high noon on social media.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you tomorrow at 3, Troy D. Take a time out, come back. A lot more Pirate Radio Live to go here on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
At US Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number 1.
Summer is a great time to buy beautiful new furniture at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, during our big summer sell-off, we've lowered prices all over the store. You'll find a great selection of the hottest living room furniture, bedrooms, and dining sets at savings that are hard to resist. And look for huge in-stock savings on sofas, sectionals, and recliners from Lazy Boy, Bassett, and Rowe with the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, enjoy local delivery for just $20.21 during the big summer sell-off now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
Pirate Radio.
We are Eastern North Carolina's football program. In time, we will be North Carolina's football program.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. The Brian Bailey Show is Bike. Double B talked to Andy 2, Nate Connor, and Will Bland earlier today. 3 high school football head coaches from Pitt County and
Big Carolina.
They're from the Big Carolina, named by Brian Bailey. You can hear that at 6. We will talk some high school football. Shirley's Farmville Central Jaguars have a new coach, Ron Cook, and got that interview coming your way later on in today's show. Expected to talk some Aiden Grifton football tomorrow with Todd Lipe, head coach for the Chargers. So getting you ready for the upcoming high school season for teams around the area. Got to get Perry Owens on the show.
Yes, got to put some ranch on it.
Got to do that, I guess, next week. Because I will not be here Thursday or Friday or Monday.
Eat your words.
Put some ranch
Tell me, eat your words.
Man, what a classic interview that was. We might have to hit the whole thing soon. I need to hear it again. All right, so Shirley, let's hear some Mike Houston. Day 1 of full pads. Did anyone rise to the occasion out there today in full pads?
I think a lot of people did. I mean, it's one that kind of stood out to me was down there in the inside run period, which is a deal where the offense can't throw it. It's a between the tackles kind of deal. So I mean, there ain't a whole lot of run room right there. And Shane Calhoun, we had an ISO play. He's the lead blocker, and really had a big block on one of our big inside linebackers. To pop. I think it was Keaton or Rajay one. Pop one of those guys free, and that's a block a year ago I don't think Shane could have made, and that's a block a lot of guys, a lot of tight ends can't make because it takes athleticism to be able to. Block, go up against a guy that has pretty good athletic ability, and then it takes some physicality against, the guys that are the size of our linebackers. So, lots of guys like that today that I thought did some good things. I thought Pop McKay, showed some of what, he has down there in that goal line period. He should have been hit for a loss when the second offense is going against the second defense, and he was able to break the tackle in the backfield and gain positive yardage. Sometimes that doesn't stand out to fans in the stands, but that's a -2 play turns into a +3 play. That's a 5-yard difference, inside the 10-yard line. So, lots of positives.
Mike Houston on today's first full pads day for ECU this fall camp. Coach Houston talked about Shane Calhoun blocking there at the tight end position. How about the O-line? How have they looked so far?
I thought had a good day today. That's what I was talking about when I said that the goal line period was so clean. You didn't have any false starts. I thought really good execution. I thought the level of contact was really good at the line of scrimmage, and so I'm pleased with that for the first day. Sometimes that can be a little sloppy. So I think you're seeing the experience, you're seeing all the hard work that those guys have put in, and certainly that's a group that we knew we had to improve. When we got here in 19, and they have really worked hard to bring that group along to where now I think it's something that can be a strength of our program.
Mike Houston there on the offensive line. Coach, did the guys acclimate to the heat and to the first day of hitting well? Well, I think that, I think that they embrace that. I don't think this is a team that's a soft football team. They're a bunch that's going to play physical. Now, it's the thing, like we talked about, I won't go look at the film on that goal line period, but we got to be able to play physical and play, effectively. Executing, not making mistakes, not having mental busts. And so the challenge is, moving on after the first day of live contact to where tomorrow, it's the second day. Okay, and you're back out there, and then the next day it's the third day. And then, you got Friday and we got scrimmage Saturday. It's stacking those days together because, this is the week in camp where I promise you, we all forget what day it is. You go to bed at night, you go in the house and go to bed, you wake back up, I leave, and you get back here and it's dark when you leave, it's dark when you get here, same thing for the kids, and then what day is it? You have no idea if it could be Saturday, it could be Tuesday, who knows? And so that part of camp is really the challenge of keeping our mentality and keeping our focus and keeping our motivation day in and day out. And that's where I've got to do a good job of making sure we take care of them, getting enough rest, getting enough hydration, being smart on what we do day in and day out, but at the same time, we've really got to push ourselves right now because this is what prepares you for that, tie ball game, close ball game, fourth quarter, hot September ball game, where you've got to play through that mental fatigue late in the ball game. And finally, Coach Houston was asked what the rest of the week looks like as far as the schedule goes.
Well, scrimmage Friday or scrimmage Saturday, probably, maybe a touch lighter on Friday, from a load standpoint. Probably have one more, pretty heavy day either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then the other be kind of a medium load day. And it's something new that we're doing this preseason camp is just, monitoring the load, each day on the kids. We've got a way to do that now. And so just really want to make sure that we're fairly fresh on Saturday so we can see, as much of a game simulation as we can here, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks in camp.
There is Mike Houston. You can watch the entire video of his press conference on YouTube, Pirate Radio TV. You can find it there and our other social media sites, Facebook. You can watch some as well, including interviews from yesterday with Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell. Coming up later today, we'll hear from Keaton Mitchell and Rajay Harris, also Fernando Fry, Xavier Smith. We'll talk all things Pirate football fall camp with Stephen Igoe coming up later on in today's program. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll talk some football with Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus. He'll join us to talk football from a gambling perspective. That's on the way to wrap up hour number 1 here on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Hey,
Pirate Nation, this is Amanda Houston, and when it came time to make the game-winning play for relaxation at our house, I made the right call to Jamie Lang and Carolina Hardscapes. Jamie and his team built the backyard oasis of our dreams with a beautiful custom paver patio, outdoor lighting, and fireplace. Make your backyard incredible and call Carolina Hardscapes today at 364-1201 or visit their showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Suck. Go Pirates!
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic's award-winning staff features a TPI golf specialist that offers assessments and rehab to help you get back on the course and playing your best.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Marcus Crandall, former ECU Pirate and Grey Cup champion. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Still to come on today's show, we will talk all things sports with Billy Weaver coming up at 4 o'clock. Stephen Igoe joins us at 4:30, and Ron Cook, the head football coach of the Farmville Central Jaguars, will be on at around 5:30 today, so still a lot to go. We'll make you a winner with a giveaway and roll on here on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Right now, we'll head out to the Fixed NC Live line and visit with the BMOC, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. He joins us to talk about what's going on in the world of sports from a gambling perspective. Big man, how you doing today?
Pretty good, Clip. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Enjoyed you on Barstool Sports Pick Central yesterday, Jeff. And You gave out a winner on something we have, I don't think, discussed on this program, and that was Summer League. And you gave out the 76ers, and they were indeed a winner. And basically, you kind of boiled it down to looking at the rosters, right? Who has guys that have a chance to play in the NBA, who is just kind of playing things out here in the Summer League. So is that something, Jeff, you're going to get involved with quite a bit? You like anything else there, or was that a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, I generally get involved with it. I did it last couple of years. I'll definitely kind of take a look at the rosters and kind of see kind of what makes sense. But, yeah, I mean, there are teams that just really aren't in positions to really, from a young guy standpoint, go out and compete real high level. Just because of some of the trades they make, they just don't make a ton of picks, and you're picking guys off the free agent pool that don't get drafted. So, when you look at a team like the Dallas Mavericks, that's kind of where they are after the Porzingis trade. So they're kind of in a corner. They're fielding a roster that just isn't very good. And the Sixers are going to be one of the better teams in Summer League because, they have a good roster and guys that have competed and have played at the next level.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, we are counting down the days till football. East Carolina now 23 days away from kicking things off against Appalachian State. You've got week 0 before that. Of course, you got preseason kicking up this week following the Hall of Fame last week. Before we dive into football, I guess, Jeff, we need to talk a little soccer too, as far as Premier League, those other professional leagues. Will you be diving into that coming up this weekend, or is that next weekend?
For me, I don't know about Premier League jumping in right away. Premier League was something that, at least last year, I did really a lot more in Serie A. That was kind of my main league. I think, sadly, there's just so much going on sometimes. It's not easy to cap everything. So I kind of try to just find some things that I'm particularly strong with, and one of those is Serie A. So I'll kind of probably be waiting until the 21st. I'll be watching, I'll be making spot plays maybe occasionally, but for me, I'm waiting on Serie A, 21st.
I know enough about soccer to get involved internationally, but the Messi to PSG move, Jeff, what does that mean for the world of soccer? Like, how big, overwhelming favorites are they, not only for their league, but, for Champions League next year?
Well, I mean, obviously, from a standpoint of popularity, I mean, Leo Messi is, I think on the live stream they had, I mean, it was incredible how many people were watching it. Obviously, they're a team that on the main stage has been around, but they've never had enough to put them over the top. It's interesting with them because I don't think goal scoring is a problem for PSG. It's can they get enough stops at the back and defend and have the goalkeeping. But obviously, a guy like Leo Messi helps your team, and they're going to be vaulted into the conversation. But they need to do some other things as well in the defense and things like that. So obviously it's huge. Moving to Paris, a huge city, and the fan base will be obviously huge around him. He's going to make a whole hell of a lot of money, but that's kind of where he is. He's one of the most popular athletes on the face of the planet.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, the first poll is out for college football, and I saw that Cincinnati lands in the 10 spot. I was wondering where they would land preseason, because if you start outside the top 25, even if you start in the 20s, high teens, it's tough to jump up and get into that top 10, top 5. They start them at 10, so if they win out, they can move up in the rankings. I don't know how high they can realistically go, but they start out 10th, one spot behind North Carolina. And I have joked over the years that North Carolina is always overrated heading into every season. There's reason to be excited, I guess, if you're a Tar Heel fan with Mac Brown and, of course, Sam Howell. But did you look at the rankings at all, Jeff, today when they came out?
I haven't. I've always thought with rankings, like, they're not really too important with what I'm doing. Obviously you have kind of a pecking order, but I kind of just look into the individual. We kind of know, I think, who's at the top of the game with teams. As far as North Carolina's talking about, look, they have a great quarterback. Sam Howell at the next level is going to be terrific. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country this year. They did lose some talent. I mean, you lose guys like De'Ami Brown and Michael Carter and some other guys, but they have a talented group coming up, including Brown's brother. I think the skill position is going to be terrific. Ty Chandler comes back from Tennessee, and running back. This is going to be a good offense. The big question for them is, defensively, can they get enough stops? And can they beat Clemson? That's obviously, can they get a high bowl? Sure. But, to be a team that's a top 5, top 3 team, you got to go and beat some teams. Do they have the ability to do that? And I'm not so sure. And they don't play Clemson in the regular season, so they'll see them in the ACC title or attempt to see them in the ACC title. We'll see what happens. I think they're good. I don't know if they're great defensively. I'm not sure just yet. I do think the cornerback group is pretty good though, and that could hold their own back in the back.
Jeff, a weird year last year. Cincinnati, the only team other than the Bearcats in the top 25 from a quote-unquote Group of 5 conference. Go to the Fun Belt. Louisiana, 23rd. Coastal Carolina, 24th. So they're living off what they were able to do a year ago. Jeff, have you dove into these guys? Like, are they good enough to have back-to-back good seasons? That seems to be the problem with a lot of these up-and-coming schools. They have one great year, a coach leaves, a star player leaves, and they're unable to replicate it. Can that happen for those two teams in particular?
Yeah, I think Coastal is going to be really good. It's hard to envision they won't be. I mean, they bring back 10 out of 11 starters on defense. The only guy they're going to lose is Teron Jackson, who, was their best defensive player. But all in all, they bring back a really great group. Offensively, Grayson McCall's back. Offensively, they're going to score. Are they going to be as dynamic as they were last year? I think they can. I mean, they'll be favored in every game. I definitely think, I think they kind of have that App State run where, for a couple of years they're really, really good and they're a good G5 team. I think they're definitely a team that will be one of the better G5 teams for sure.
Jeff, I'm going to throw out a few teams in the bottom half of the coaches poll that came out today. Who has an opportunity to climb into the top 10, the top 5, maybe a college football playoff, which, of course, is very exclusive when you look at the heavyweights, Bama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State. But I'll just throw out some teams. You tell me who you like out of this group. We'll go with Wisconsin is 15th. Miami is 16th. Texas at 19. Penn State at 20. And I'll even let's throw in the Washington Huskies from the Pac-12. Any of those teams could you see making a run in their league and winning a conference championship and making some noise?
Yeah, I think Wisconsin's obviously really intriguing. I mean, they always have just a star-studded, front seven and offensive line on offense. Quarterback Graham Mertz, who had some, due to those ridiculous protocols last year in the Big Ten, he was off for a while, kind of ruined their season. We know that offensively they're not going to do anything dazzling, but I think Mertz is really, really good. As far as Wisconsin's defense, I mean, this is a team that retained Jim Leonard. They're going to be a top-level defensive team in the country, probably top 10. I just love their coaching staff. I mean, Jim Leonard's great. They got Hank Poteet in there now, a guy that can take care of their corners and their back end. I think they're going to be a great defensive team. I think they're more of a top 12, 13 team as opposed to towards 20. And that side of the Big Ten West is not particularly strong. So, yeah, I think they would be the team that I'd be all in on. I like Christ. I kind of like the way they do things. They always have those good, strong kids up front and in the trenches. So, yeah, with Mertz, I think the sky's the limit for Whiskey. I love them on defense, too.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, how closely are you following these training camps, and does your opinion change? Could your opinion change on a team as you watch preseason, as you follow practices? And I don't know, I just keep looking back to Aaron Rodgers, and he's there. Devontae Adams is there, ready to go. I don't know, has your opinion changed on the Packers since training camp began, that they could be a factor, not only, of course, in that division, but in the NFC?
I mean, anytime Aaron Rodgers is finally seemingly in a place where he can be a professional, and not that he would never be that, he always is, regardless of the situation. But yeah, offensively, they're going to be really good. They always are. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Offensive lines, all of a sudden, I think pretty solid. I like the young guys they have up front, John Runyon and Elgton Jenkins and Billy Turner. I think the depth they have is now there, and I think they protect him. Receivers are fine. I like their backfield. Defense is strong, too. I love their cornerbacks. They're really young there as well. And I think that's something where they're going to get a lot out of Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark and the kids up front. In the back, they're really strong, too. I think they're definitely a competitor in the NFC now that everything seems to be okay with our friend Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, their third-string quarterback, I believe, is Kurt Benkert,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Kurt Benkert, former Pirate, former Virginia Cavalier, now playing with the Packers. Jeff, a personal question for you, fantasy related. I've kind of waited too long. I'm doing a slow draft, a text draft that began last weekend, and we're doing about a round a day. But I got my other pieces in place. I have Baker Mayfield as a keeper holdover, and I kind of kept him as a backup, but I've waited too long on quarterback. So I'm going to throw out some options. You tell me who you think has the best numbers or the best chance to have the best numbers in 2021. Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan. I think, and you know, you can throw in a Ryan Fitzpatrick. You can throw in... let's see. Let's just start with those guys. Does any of those guys excite you? Jalen Hurts is there too. You know, what does he do from a fantasy standpoint? So add him in the mix. Do any of those guys you think have a good fantasy season in 2021?
Yeah, I would look at Joe Burrow. I think he could be a really consistent quarterback. I mean, that depth chart is really good. I mean, there's going to be tons of kids that he can throw to now. And, you know, whether it's Jamar Chase or Boyd or Higgins or whoever, there's Joe Mixon out of the backfield. It's a stacked group. I think their offensive line is a bit better than people think, and I actually kind of almost like it. I don't think it's going to be terrible. I think they'll protect him and he'll stay healthy. If he stays healthy, they're going to score points.
Yeah.
I think it's that simple. Kirk Cousins, this year I would avoid. I think Kirk Cousins is concerning just because of the offense. I don't think it's good. It's more run driven though. And my thing with Kurt is really about the off the field stuff. He has been pretty much adamant that he is not going to get vaccinated. I think at some point Kirk Cousins might be out of games due to his decisions off the field. That's something that I think plays a part to me now. And I don't know about everyone, but Kirk Cousins has made it a point to mention that he is not going to be vaccinated, and that's concerning just due to protocols. He may miss a game or two.
Yeah, and I mean, it does come down to performance, too, because Lamar Jackson, it appears, is in that same boat, but you're still going to draft Lamar Jackson, right?
Let me ask you, though, you're much more inclined to take a quarterback that says, hey, like Jalen Hurts. If it's seen Jalen Hurts and Kirk Cousins, he's already come out and said he's not getting vaccinated. Jalen Hurts is.
I'll take the guy that's more likely to be on the field every Sunday. Yeah, if it's almost even. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jeff Nadu joining us, host of the Sit Down podcast. You can check it out for some great Mafia stories, a history lesson on Mafia, and Jeff's doing that. Anything else, Jeff, we need to know about?
No, I think that's it, Clip. Thanks as always for having me on, and I'll talk to you later in the week.
Jeff Nadu, sounds good. Joining us here on the Fixed NC Live line. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live on the way. Billy Weaver will join us. Stephen Igoe as well. We'll have a full ECU fall camp report. All that ahead on PRL here on a Tuesday. We're back with you after this.
Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Saturday, August 14th for the Welcome Mat giveaway presented by MedSource Pharmacy and the UPS store. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium for Wood Ducks baseball all season long. Go Woodies!
Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. What's next for college athletics? We'll have some thoughts next.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Pitch in. Mountcastle swings and belts it. Center field, but Duke going back on the track at the wall, hits off the wall. Hayes scores easily from third. Mountcastle digging into second. He's going to stop there, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
Round and round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. That goofy old saying reminds me of college athletics today. Do we really know where it's going? The movers and shakers don't really know. It's as if they're throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. It's all about the almighty dollar. Television revenue runs the entire enterprise. The rich are getting richer, the poor are poor. A lot of the fun and enjoyment of college athletics is gone for a lot of folks. So we'll sit back and watch and hope ECU survives, and it will. What the athletics program will look like down the road is anyone's guess. As Pirates, we do the best we can. It's always been that way, and it will always be that way. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit Inside the Booth.
You've been listening to Inside the Booth with Jeff Charles on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Well, keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All righty. Preseason football getting underway on Thursday. Of course, the Hall of Fame game was last week. Chandler's Panthers play Sunday, 1 o'clock on NFL Network against the Colts.
The only game of the day.
The headliner coming up on Sunday at 1. How much are you watching?
I'll watch a good bit of it.
Okay.
Maybe the whole game. We'll see. It being on a Sunday at 1 o'clock, I guess it'll get me ready for the regular season.
Yeah,
it'll be
good time slot.
1 o'clock Sundays.
The Washington football team will play the Patriots coming up Thursday night, 7:30 on the NFL Network. Billy Weaver is a fellow Washington football team fan. He joins us today on Pirate Radio Live. Weave, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Hey, doing great. I saw that Ron Rivera said that some starters will be playing on Thursday night. This is interesting, Weave. We're all kind of going through this for the first time. How will these coaches handle a 3-week preseason? Usually when it's 4 weeks, you see your starters extended time in week 3. Does that become week 2? Now that there's only 3 weeks, does it become never? Do starters not see a lot of time at all? It depends on how each team, how each coach wants to handle it, but it looks like at least we'll see a few series of the Redskins starters, the Washington football team starters coming up on Thursday night.
Yeah, I think so, and it's going to be interesting to see how each individual coach kind of attacks the preseason. And then I would imagine after this season, coaches will start to fall in line. This is a copycat league and always has been. Coaches will kind of get together and talk about what they think is the best way to go about it. And over the next couple of years, as long as we stay with this 3-game preseason, things will start to fall in line where even the fans will know exactly what that's how it was. We knew with 4 games exactly what was going to happen. Your third game was usually a lot of starters getting the most time then, and then they would rest that week before the season started, get a little bit of playing time in that Game 4. But Game 4 of the preseason was always about those guys on the fringe, guys that maybe were undrafted rookie free agents in camp and made, kind of an impact during camp, and the coaches wanted to get one last look at them, or it was a chance for them to, open some eyes from other teams if they did get cut. To get a roster spot somewhere. So we kind of knew how that was going to go. And I would imagine, I guess if I was a coach, I think for preseason Game 1, I would do it just like before. You get your starters in for a series or two. Yeah. And then in Game 2, I think you play your starters much more, maybe a couple quarters, maybe a half. And then in Game 3, go back to cutting back on the starters playing a whole lot and see, if there's 1 or 2 guys left that are going to make the 53-man roster. So that's just how I would go about it and how I would guess it was going to happen.
Yeah, and all starters aren't created equal either. I go back to spring training, and I'm watching the Braves, and Ronald Acuna Jr. is diving headfirst into second to a hustle double, and I'm like, no, we don't need this in March, and and I don't need to see Chase Young getting blocked and chopped in the middle of the first quarter in a preseason game either. I think he's going to be good to go.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I think that goes back to my point that I was making about each individual coach kind of making their own kind of way in during the preseason, because coaches, they know the attitude of their players. They know which players are going to go out there and are like a Ronald Acuna Jr. and go out there and they're going to give it 100% every time. And as a coach, you got to sometimes protect your players. You don't want to pull back the reins on them and tell them to not go full speed or not be the type of player that they are in those scrimmage games, but you just limit their play, so that you limit the time that they're out there and the possibility to get injured, because, that's the big thing about preseason. That's the thing that coaches don't like about the preseason, and especially players don't like about the preseason. Players have been moaning and griping and complaining, and rightfully so, about 4 preseason games. And, it kind of goes back to that old Allen Iverson thing, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice.
You know who else hates preseason, Billy? The fans that have to pay for it as part of their season ticket package.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is because you're paying full price for a preseason game that you're probably not going to go to. And if you want to go on the dark web or whatever, you want to go on the internet and sell your tickets, you're not getting anywhere near face value because they're just not valuable tickets. So yeah, the fans have been complaining about that for some time, and I think it's a good move to go to 3 preseason games. Of course, on the back end is where the NFL is making all the money, because they're adding regular season games.
That's right. Always got to make that extra penny. If you are Daniel Snyder, the owners, or the league itself, the closer we get to the season, the more intrigued I get by the Carolina Panthers, and they, just like the Falcons, just like the Saints, are looking up in that division to Tampa Bay. But you started looking around, like Michael Thomas comes out yesterday with a cryptic message on social media. He's not happy. He might be traded. He's out to start the year because he had surgery late into the offseason. The Falcons seem to be on the last days of the Matt Ryan era. The Julio Jones era is officially over, as he is now a Titan. They're going to give up 1 million points this year. And then you got Carolina, who their defense, they addressed those needs in last year's draft. They certainly have weapons on offense with a healthy Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. The big question there is Sam Darnold. What is Sam Darnold? Is it what we saw in the erratic play with the New York Jets, or is he a good quarterback that was in a bad situation? So I could make a case where the Panthers finish like 10-7. I could make a case where they finish 5-12. I could say they have a high floor, a high ceiling, however you want to call it, Billy. But I don't know. What's your take on the 2021 Panthers?
Well, mine is the ceiling is the roof.
Thank you, Michael.
Since you were just talking about the ceiling, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see offensively. Of course, all the big question mark is around Sam Darnold, because we've seen in the NFL so many times where quarterbacks or other position players that were drafted high or that just didn't work out somewhere else, that they go in and they get into a new environment, they get around a new group of guys, a new group of coaches, and they flourish. And, of course, Carolina Panther fans are hoping that's the case with Sam Darnold. And then also offensively, Christian McCaffrey, that is a huge question mark, not because of his talent, obviously, but can he stay healthy? And if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, if Sam Darnold can be a serviceable quarterback, and he's got some talented players to get the football to, they can be good offensively. They're getting better defensively, so I agree 100% with you. This is a team that could be anywhere across the spectrum. You never know what you're going to get, and I think that it all has to do with staying healthy and the quarterback play. If Sam Darnold goes out there, I don't think he has to light up the world. He doesn't, because there's talent around him, especially when you've got a guy the caliber of Christian McCaffrey in that backfield. So as long as he doesn't go out there and make mistakes and kind of be the Sam Darnold we saw at times before, I think they can be good, but it's a wait and see kind of thing with the Panthers. That's what's kind of frustrating and kind of exciting for Carolina Panthers fans, because going into the season you can have a ton of optimism. You just have no idea where it's going to fall.
Chandler, the resident Panthers fan, I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey numbers and looking at Panthers numbers. As a rookie in 2017, he plays in all 16 games. He only has 435 rushing yards. He did have 80 catches, 651 yards that year, and the Panthers went to the playoffs, 11-5, lost against the Saints. His second year, he has 219 rush attempts, over 1,000 yards. He adds to that 107 catches, 867 yards, but the Panthers that year go 7-9. 2019, 287 rush attempts. He had 142 targets. He had over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving, but the team itself goes 5-11, and of course he was injured last year. So it's obviously going to be a super. Go ahead, Billy. Did you have something there?
Well, what that tells me is that when they rely too much on Christian McCaffrey and they don't have other guys around him that can pick up the slack, that's when they're not doing well. They've got to be able to use him in spot situations. Not so much in spot situations, but he can't be the number one workhorse everything guy, because, then the team becomes one-dimensional. And I think that was the case the further he got along in his career, is that they kept feeding Christian McCaffrey, and rightfully so, but nobody else around him was stepping up and getting the job done.
2019, absolutely crazy numbers with over 2,000. He had 2,392 yards from scrimmage, 19 total touchdowns, 403 touches.
Was that the year that he had 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing?
But the team was 5-11, and I think Billy brings up a good point there. He can't be the workhorse. Yeah, well, he's going to be, but somebody's got to help out, and do you have those parts to help out?
If it is anybody, it's the guys on the outside, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson.
I asked you this all offseason. Who is the backup running back? Do you have one of those yet?
We have Chuba Hubbard, who we drafted from Oklahoma State. And is
great college running back.
Yes, and I don't believe he played last year for the Cowboys, but he is having a good training camp so far. So there is somebody behind Christian McCaffrey. The question was, you should have asked me that last year. There was nobody behind Christian McCaffrey last year. I think we had Rodney Smith, who was an undrafted free agent out of Minnesota, who was getting a lot of the load when McCaffrey was hurt. But yeah, so it's going to rely, we just got to take the pressure off of him and not have to rely on him so much. And I want to give him the ball, whether that's running the football or passing it to him. But we have to have guys like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and hopefully Robbie Anderson and Sam Darnold have a great relationship. Them being together in New York, so. Those guys on the outside are going to have to step up. Terrace Marshall Jr. is also a guy that can be thrown into the mix at wide receiver. But, yeah, those guys are going to have to step up and help out Christian McCaffrey.
Chandler made me feel old this week. We were talking about the Hall of Fame, and he said, "Yeah, I'm finally seeing guys inducted into the Hall of Fame that I watch play." And I remember that when I was around his age, like, man, I saw that guy's whole career, and now I'm so old, it's kind of sad now. But when he brought that up, it made me go back like 15, 20 years ago to when, like, the first time I saw a guy play his entire career make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that does make you feel kind of old. But I guess I would have to think back and kind of remember a guy that I watched his entire career early on, like maybe that first Hall of Famer guy. But I mean, there are guys that I watched as a kid. I mean, and this is going back way long ago that Chandler would never even have. He's only seen video of these guys: Terry Bradshaw, Roger Staubach, Lynn Swann. Those guys. Those are guys I watched as a kid.
I got a good one for you, Weave. So I was born in '81, so I didn't see his. I watched. I didn't see him early on. You might have caught him when he first got into the league, but Darrell Green played from '83 to 2002. That might have been like one of your first guys that you saw, like, all his entire career in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I was born in 1969, just to tell you.
Yeah, so you were around 14, 13. So yeah.
Yeah, so that was my early teenage years, and Darrell Green was one of my favorites. Obviously, my all-time favorite Washington football player is John Riggins. They called him the Diesel. I mean, I had a poster of the Super Bowl against Miami where the defender was on the ground holding on to his jersey on that fourth down that he broke off a big run and scored a touchdown. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. I had that poster on my wall at the time, so he was my all-time favorite.
Before you move on, Weave, have you ever thought what it would be like if John Riggins played in 2021 with social media, with everybody taking pictures? And unfortunately, I was too young to really witness the greatness. I've seen the videos, heard the stories, but he liked to, he was not a real Joe Gibbs guy when it came to, all right, shut your mouth. I'm sure he was a great team player, teammate and all that, but like, he was not the choir boy, so to speak.
No, when he got traded to Washington, I think it was from the Jets, he came in with a mohawk. I mean, the guy was very outspoken. He was very kind of Brian Bosworth, I think, before the Boz. If that makes sense. So he was kind of that kind of personality.
But he was able to deliver on the field, maybe unlike the Boz.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As far as talent goes and production, he was much more productive than Brian Bosworth. But there are so many, and I can call them this now because that's what they were. They were Redskins back in the day, but there were so many Redskins that I grew up watching and idolizing. And Igoe was the number one guy. Number two on that list was Art Monk, and that's another guy that's in the Hall of Fame. And it took him a while to get into the Hall of Fame. But I remember watching his entire career.
Hey, kids, there was a time when wide receivers would catch a ball and just, like, go back to the huddle and never talk. And that was Art Monk.
Yeah, so Art Monk. Art Monk was and is one of the classiest men I've ever met in my life. I actually worked the Art Monk football camp for 3 weeks one summer back in 1992, and so I spent 3 weeks in dorm rooms, and Art was there the entire time, and I have pictures of me and him, and I actually got to throw passes to him out on the practice field and stuff. It was awesome. He's one of the best guys you'll ever meet.
That's really cool. Talking to Billy Weave before we let you go. Kyle Larson wins again at Watkins Glen. They are back on a road course this week, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Chase Elliott made a push, finished second. I'm assuming you're going to talk about Chase Elliott being one of the potential winners, right?
Yeah, but this is an interesting situation because this is going to be the first time that these guys are racing a NASCAR Cup Series race on Indianapolis Motor Speedway's road course. So this is anybody's guess. But when we say that, the Hendrick drivers, man, they have just been outstanding as of late. Hendrick drivers have I think I saw they've won like 8 of the last 11 races or something like that. I don't know if that's exactly right, but they've won a ton of races here recently, and of course they've done it all on the road course races. They've really excelled there, and of course that's with Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. And how about Chase? I mean, Chase Elliott started way back in the back of the field this past weekend at Watkins Glen and still made his way up and finished second.
That happens on your regular tracks, Weave, but not so much in the road courses, right?
No, not at all, and especially at a place like Watkins Glen. Now, that happens a little bit more now. We saw that at the Roval and at Daytona's road track at Daytona. There's more passing opportunities at those tracks, but some of your older tracks, that NASCAR has been racing on road course series races for a while. There's not a whole lot of places to pass, but he started from the back of the field and he immediately started picking off guys. That just goes to show you the talent that Chase Elliott has on the road course races. And I tell you what, it's going to be a long time before, if I were a betting man, when it comes to road courses, it'll be a long time before I bet against Chase Elliott. That's for sure.
Billy Weaver joining us. Weave, I'm a buddy, so I'm not going to bring up that thing happening in baseball. So we'll just end the conversation.
No, it's cool.
I told you, everyone, the Mets were going to collapse. They are in the middle of it. The Phillies bypassed them. The Braves passed. Like, it's happening, Weave.
No, I mean, but I knew that was going to happen. I'm just happy that it took this long because, like I've said before, it usually happens well before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something, though. The Mets still aren't playing bad. They just can't find any offense, and, man, that's just not going to cut it. If they can get going offensively, but that's been the case all year. They're on a 4-game losing streak right now. You got to give it to Philly, though. Philly's won 8 straight.
Yeah.
Still only 2.5 up on 2 up on Atlanta and 2.5 up on the Mets right now. So the Mets are not out of it by any means. And once they still got a couple key players they need to get back on the roster, and if they can get the bats going. I'm trying to be optimistic. I really am. But I'm just happy they were in first place as long as they were.
Weave, good stuff, man. Thanks for joining us. We will check in with you again next week. We'll have a Washington game to recap, and 1 week closer to Pirate football.
Yes, sir. That's going to be fun. Today, first day in pads.
Yeah.
The Pirates. Mike Houston seemed like he was optimistic and said the guys performed very well in this Eastern North Carolina heat. You gotta love that. They finally got the nasty heat and humidity back in Eastern North Carolina, and I guess that's a good thing because you're going to be playing in that in September.
No doubt.
I'll be talking some Pirate football here shortly.
Thank you, Weave. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
All right, there it is. WITN Sports. Whoops. I did it for the first time ever. He used to work at a TV station. Now he owns Billy's Beach Breakfast. I was very distracted because for the first time walking in the Pirate Radio building since becoming a father, Stephen Igoe is here. I gotta say, looking pretty good. He had a collar on his shirt. We'll see him here in just a moment. He will join us when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. We're back with you after this.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. Yes. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above. Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Jersey Mike's number 16 Chicken Philly. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
Trying to decide where to get your car washed? Well, let Tommy's make it an easy decision with free unlimited car washes for the month of August. All you have to do is go to your app store, download the Tommy's Express app, enter code NCJM. That's the promo code NCJM. Select the unlimited quality wash, register your vehicle, and you're good to go with free car washes all of August. If you like it and keep it, it's only $19.99 a month. If not, you control it and you can cancel it anytime. Tommy's Express on the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Hi, this is Karen Staten with AG Home Solutions. Thinking of remodeling? We are your one-stop shop for all your home design needs. Our AG Home Solutions design team has over 25 years of experience. Need a new bathroom or kitchen? Looking to upgrade your cabinets, countertops, tile, or flooring? The Design Center is open to all homeowners and contractors. Call us for an appointment. Visit agshomesolutions.net and mention Pirate Radio to receive a $100 discount through the end of August. AG Home Solutions, turning your remodeling dreams into reality.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From Sales to Service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. They do brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World is located across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Clip Brock.
Back with you on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock here. And for the first time since becoming a father, Stephen Igoe is back inside the Pirate Radio studios. Stephen, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
There, put her there. I was seeing if you had dad strength. That was
I have a soft handshake.
You do. It was really soft.
I'm no Brandon Lynch. You remember his handshake?
Oh, yeah.
He would break your hand, dude.
Yeah, he was like the dad meeting their daughter's boyfriend. Like, you do something tonight.
He would I would go in and shake it. He would. I could feel my hands squishing on top of one another.
Yeah, the finger bones start to
This
touch.
is how my hand would look when I was done with the handshake.
Like the guy in Scary Movie. Who was the?
The one with the little.
Oh,
hands.
Here, let me. He's like mashing with the potatoes.
Here, let me stir that for you.
So you acknowledge you have a weak handshake. Why is that? You don't want to go too strong.
I'm not that aggressive, confrontational person. I think it's.
I know, but it's not like.
I feel like
You're not confronting anybody.
I feel like if you're going over the top with a handshake, you're trying to
you're overcompensating
for something.
Oh,
wow.
We finish each other.
I'm pretty comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable with my.
I hear you.
Get up and appearance. I don't need to blow somebody away with a handshake. I don't need that person to remember me man, that's the handshake dude.
Yeah. Hey, Stephen Igoe, kind of a D-bag, hard handshake guy. But instead, you're like, hey, that Igoe, pretty low-key handshake there. Also, handshaking kind of becoming what's the phrase the guy always says on MLB The Show? The way of the, what's the animal he used? Oh, man, what am I trying to say right now?
Haven't played
It's not a dingo. It's the way of an animal that went extinct. The dodo bird.
There you go.
Yeah,
the handshake has gone the way of the dodo bird.
I don't know. I guess it depends on where you are.
True.
Because I think in the South, you're still going to see handshakes.
So knucks. Mm-hmm. Can you knuck somebody too hard? Give him the knuckle?
Yes. You can punch him instead of...
he's got too firm of a knuckle?
I've never really experienced that, I don't think.
I've had it where somebody kind of... They go to give you the knuckle, but they kind of shove their fist into you. So it's more like a... Yeah, you're like...
I've had that happen.
Chandler, you've had a fist shoved into you?
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's tough, man.
It's tough times.
Tough leg.
So, Steven, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good.
Has your kid done anything cool yet?
No.
Any backflips?
No.
How's his handshake?
There's milestones and stuff, but
he can't grip. Yeah.
It takes a while for he's acknowledging your existence probably now.
Yeah, now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, about a week and a half into it, I guess. What's the day? Yeah. So almost 2 weeks into it.
That's crazy.
I feel like he definitely can look around right in front of him and kind of he has some awareness.
Yeah,
the first few days it's
situational awareness.
He's got good awareness.
He's got good awareness. Probably still not 99 on the Madden scale.
You should update his attributes as he grows up in life. Right. Speed right now is a 1.
Balance.
Strength is a 3.
Yeah. And trying to get to 100.
Yeah, 100%.
He's working his way into being a proven commodity.
He is. He is. It's going to take some time, but he'll get there.
Stephen prematurely said he was a proven commodity. You know what's funny?
What's that?
I met a guy in the UB parking lot last week. Gave him a handshake.
I was about to say, did you give him a handshake?
He said he's a listener, and he gave me his name. It was something Jarman. And
Aaron Jarman?
He said... No, it was older gentleman, and he was like, "Man, I really enjoy listening to y'all. I have to do it online because I don't come in great in Lenoir County." I never even put 2 and 2 together until I got back in the building. Is he related to the proven commodity? And then I was like, did he listen to that discussion about Aaron Jarman? How I said he wasn't a proven commodity. That's not an insult on Aaron Jarman. But anyway, that happened last week, Igoe, and it made me self-conscious.
I feel like there has to be some relation of some sort. If
Jarman, Lenoir County.
Yeah, he said his parents were season ticket holders, so I would be surprised if there's not some sort of relation there.
Familial.
When he shook your hand, did he squeeze it tight?
I didn't know
like this.
My fingers were good to go after that encounter.
I like to think that I have a pretty fair handshake. I try not to grip, but I don't want to be, I don't want to give a light
What's
handshake.
It called? Like a fish, the wet fish?
Yeah, kind of the wet fit. Yeah, I don't do that. But I did have, you remember several years ago, when Biz Marquis and Tone Loc came and performed at Pirate Fest.
Let's do it.
I had a chance to go back and meet Biz Marquis and Tone Loke, and I remember shaking Tone Loke's hand. He was like, "Oh, you have a firm handshake." I'm like, "Yeah, was I not supposed to have one?"
Did you say handshake?
Handshake.
Okay. Because then I was thinking about a milkshake with like ham flavor.
I'm a ham shake man.
Okay, Mr. Uniform.
Shirley has a firm handshake, and Tone Loke will never forget that, Shirley. You made a great impression.
I made a great impression on Mr. Loke.
Stephen Igoe, day one, full pads. They were popping.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like to say that.
It's a good phrase.
Pads are popping. We've heard some comments from Mike Houston already. Hit the open real quick, Shirley. Just play a few words.
The open of what?
His opening comments. Mike Houston won.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Nice, cool day for practice today. First day in full pads.
All right, you can cut it. I don't notice it as much as I did previously when I was first cutting it up, but the voice sounded a little scratchy. Has he been yelling a lot out at practice, Stephen?
I think he sounds fairly normal.
You think so? Okay.
I think Blake Harrell sounded a little hoarse the other day, and Tim Dowse is always hoarse, I feel like.
That dude, he's got some energy on him.
A few times
Is Blake Harrell going Jeet weight on us?
He's not quite to that level. That was a different level of horse.
Speaking of mishearing things, do you have the comment from Mike Houston yesterday, Shirley?
Why, yes,
All
I
right,
do.
Play that one real quick.
You know, you're going to get tossed around pretty good in this league if you don't have some ass to you.
See, I heard ass that time.
We had the debate. I wanted to just be asked so much, but I go, you sometimes you listen to a Pirate Radio Live later or earlier.
Yeah. I usually listen to it.
So I got like a random text last night and it was like, he's saying mass, right? And I'm like, yeah, we figured it out. It's not
It was
as
just
fun.
so funny in the moment, though, listening to y'all think it was.
I was so excited. Like
y'all are so into it. I'm like, and I get it. Like, when you listen to it, if you weren't there, it definitely sounds a lot like it. But definitely being there on the front row and him not wearing a mask, you could definitely see it was mass.
And there's double M's. There's an M.
Some.
Well, there's an M at the end of some, which could roll over into a mass, but there's also an M in mass, which I thought was just an extra M from some.
Well, I remember talking to offensive line coaches in the past, and they're like, if we want guys that have some
mass. Or ass.
Yeah, they say ass.
Yeah.
We want guys to have some ass on them because you need a lower half to be a good offensive
Or did
lineman.
you mishear them and they said mass?
No, they definitely said.
So, do you still do the transcript for everything?
For every press conference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you type up mass yesterday?
Yeah, I did mass.
You're going to get tossed around pretty good in this league if you don't have some ass to you.
He said, he puts a lot of emphasis on the ass part
Like
of
Jim
mass.
Rome
He's like,
style.
mass.
I'm going to do my own transcript and type ass just to do it. Anyway, that was
they
from
both
yesterday.
basically mean the same thing. I mean, you got to have some weight and some thump to you, you know?
Mass is a little classier.
Some junk
to
in the
say.
trunk.
Yeah.
But really, if you have offensive linemen with skinny legs, you're in trouble. And Malvik still kind of is.
That was the whole point.
He's still thinner than most offensive linemen, but that's just his frame. He looks like a freaking specimen out there.
Morgan Ayler said he could have a future in the WWE.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
with his
he's
frame
just
and
like
size.
he's so long and lean, dude. His I can't imagine the amount of calories he's intaking right now, and it's just you don't find many 300-pounders that are that skinny.
We had the mass ass debate yesterday. John Moody said he heard Hamshake. He's on Team Hamshake.
What does John Moody know?
Yeah, John. Stick to college basketball schedules. Stick to what you know. All right. Bailey Malovic Igoe has got more mass on him. Give us an update on what the O-line has looked like from what you've seen as far as personnel goes. What have they been rolling with?
They've been rolling with a lot of mass, and
specifically, Fernando Fry talked today.
He did talk.
Is he the first team center if we played on Saturday?
Avery Jones is your first team center. Fernando today played first team right guard. That was because Sean Bailey was sidelined. The first team offensive line through the first week of practice, when all the guys are healthy, has been left tackle Justin Chase, left guard Nashad Strother, center Avery Jones, right guard Sean Bailey, right tackle Bailey Mass Malovic. And
the big mass.
The thing is, you've got so many guys you can interchange. Like Noah Henderson's worked some at tackle. Fry's worked some at guard. He can work center. Trent Holler has worked center. He can also play guard. Isaiah Foot's a young guy that's got some ability. Walt Stribling, shown some flashes. You have a legitimate 2 deep to where, like, if you lost, and you don't want this to happen, but if you lost your whole starting offensive line, you could get by with your second team O-line. But I think the one area they don't want to lose anybody is offensive tackle. I feel very good about the interior offensive line. They got plenty of bodies there. You don't want to lose one of your tackles, or like last year, 2 tackles, which was a killer.
Yeah. We had some great videos out on social media. Igoe did as well. Did you have a play where Rick DeBrew caused some damage?
He just blew up and made an outstanding play.
Shirley, how would Mike Houston describe Rick DeBrew?
Rick DeBrew is a pretty rocked up guy.
I love that.
He's rocked up.
Did he say rocked up? I don't want to take him out of context.
Rick DeBrew is a pretty rocked up guy.
Pretty rocked up
He
guy.
is rocked up.
That is a cool thing to be described as.
Where did that come from? Is that from a recent interview?
That was here on Pirate Radio when I did the whole what Olympic event, what everybody did, and I think that was weightlifting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rick DeBrew's a pretty rocked up guy.
He looks like a different dude. I mean, like you put all those defensive linemen in a row, one of them looks rocked up, and that's Rick DeBrew. I mean,
Rick DeBrew's a pretty rocked up guy.
I think you did an article on number changes this year. Has Rick DeBrew, has he changed his number?
He's gone from 45 to 15, and I think with him moving to defensive end, it fits him pretty well. Like it's he's not skinny, but he's trimmed down, I feel like, a little bit to play it fast, and I feel like 15 fits well. 15 on one side, 11 and Jeremy Lewis on the other side, or 10 Xavier Smith on the other side right now. I like that combination on the edge.
Scott says, what about my Maryland guy? Was that Foot?
That is Isaiah Foot.
You mentioned him, right?
He's running with the second team right now, probably a guard. Really bright future. Again, just a second-year guy. I think him and Walt Stribling came in that same class. I think both those guys are future starters if they continue on their current path.
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this hour with Igoe. We'll try to save some time and hear from Icy and K3.
Yep.
That would be Rajay Harris and Keaton Mitchell. Fernando Fry and Xavier Smith as well, as they spoke after practice on this Tuesday. A lot more to go on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly. Weekends are made for A.J. McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at A.J.'s. A.J.'s is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on A.J.'s TVs. See you this weekend at A.J. McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Hello folks, this is Jamie Lane with Carolina Hardscapes and Mulch. We believe that making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio, fireplace, pool, walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. You can stop by our outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic's Oak Furniture. At Carolina Hardscapes, we look forward to making your backyard the place to be. Find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked! This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust one-topping pizza for only $12. And now you can have the stuffed crust as an add-on to any large hand-tossed pizza. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hello, Greenville and Pitt County. We at Pitt County Schools want you to know that we are a thriving and connected school system ready and open for all students this year. We are offering all in-person learning with limited virtual options while operating on a 5-day, full-day schedule for our 38 school campuses. Pitt County Schools offers rigorous academic opportunities such as dual language programs, STEM engagement, global education, and college readiness. We also offer competitive athletics, full support for exceptional children, and career readiness opportunities such as paid apprenticeships and unique business partnerships. Pitt County Schools is fully committed to engage, empower, and elevate every student every day. Visit our website today at pittschools.org, where you'll find our new jam-packed strategic plan, our new mission and vision, our profile of a learner, or check out our unique preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and early colleges. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student every day.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
University PC Care has been busier than ever repairing personal PC and Mac computers and iPhones during this pandemic. And we thank you for your support. Now, with everyone streaming and doing work from school and home, you may have discovered that your home Wi-Fi just isn't cutting it. It may be time to upgrade your home network, and University PC Care can help. To make a network assessment appointment and discover upgrade options that fit your home, go to talktowilliam.com or learn more at universitypccare.com.
I intend to see to it that any man who sails under a pirate flag or wears a pirate brand gets what he deserves.
Pirate Radio,
I think it'd be rather exciting to meet a pirate.
the voice of the pirate nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at free PR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip Rock.
Wrapping up Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Clip Rock, Stephen Igoe, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt. We will give away a gift, a prize, a token of our appreciation for you listening, coming up in Hour 3 of today's show. Also, Ron Cook, the new head football coach at Farmville Central, will join us. Ron was a player for the Virginia Tech Hokies in the late 90s and also came to town in 2000 during the Virginia Tech ECU game on Thursday night, ESPN. Actually went to that game with Tony Dunn. At Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Tidbit. And it got away early from the Pirates. I want to say an early block punt did them in.
That was the game that I was trying to look up that day, that I actually found the 1992 game between the Hokies and Pirates, and Jeff Charles was on the call for the television broadcast with Willie Lanier.
Very good memory, Chandler. Stephen, on that day, how old were you in 2000?
8.
Were you at the game, you think?
What game?
Thursday night, Vic versus Garrard.
Yeah, I was there.
It was a big game.
I faintly remember it. I just remember my dad talking about how the story was Mike Vick was close to coming to ECU or something like that.
Oh, yeah. The old Logan had Garrard, so he didn't bring in.
Yeah.
That's I don't know how true that is or not.
There was no 24/7 sports back then, so we'll never know.
Very good
point. The famous gif of you as a young child Like what? I just was wondering what game was that?
That was the South Florida game in the early 2000s. It was a heart-wrenching loss.
Vontae Leach
just absolutely went off. I just remember that South Florida team talked so much junk, like all South Florida teams and their fans. And the ECU team was terrible. But Vontae Leach just had a tremendous game.
That was Thompson, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask, was that John Thompson?
And Vontae basically single-handedly kept him in it, went from fullback to running back, and had a bunch of touchdowns. And then in overtime, ECU scored the touchdown and then missed the extra point. That would have sent it to another overtime, like classic John Thompson ECU.
You were fired up.
Yeah, it was.
I was jacked. Yeah,
you were rocked up.
Steven Igoe was a pretty rocked up guy. That Virginia Tech ECU game, by the way, I think the score was 48-23, something like that. So the Hokies put it on the Pirates. How many passing
Wasn't
yards?
that the game where they had like a bunch of true beamer ball, like special teams block punts?
Well, they had a block punt for a touchdown, and they might have had some
defensive
other stuff.
touchdowns.
How many passing yards did Michael Vick have against the Pirates in a 48-point game?
400 yards.
Do we know?
Yeah.
I
looked it up earlier when I was preparing for Ron Cook's interview.
123.
104 yards.
What?
If I told you that, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's great. Lee Suggs. Remember every year they had a
good running back, and they would always go to the NFL and then like play 1 year and disappear.
He had 100+ yards. They had the special teams score. They probably had more special teams plays to set up scores. And
I feel like there was like 3.
There was a Williams guy in 2010.
Whose phone was that?
That was my guy. That's my Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams
was my guy. We used to do our fantasy draft early, and you have to you got to grab that rookie fast, and you could hold on to him and keep him. And I drafted Ryan Williams on a Saturday at around 5:30. And then that night, he had his debut with the Cardinals and tore his leg.
Cardinals, that's who he played
and was
for.
never anything because he got hurt, and I was sad.
I remember him playing for, it was Tyrod
He had
Taylor.
a big game on a Thursday night in Greenville.
Tyrod Taylor, and for those that don't know, he's a Houston Texan. That was 2010. Dominique Davis, Jonathan Williams was our running back. It was the battle of the Williams, that running back. Ryan Williams and Jonathan Williams in 2010. I just remember that.
Was there a...
kind of a boring game, right?
Was there a
Was that the Dakota Marshall game?
No, that was 2009 on the Thursday night.
Yep, that was when he got cling-locked. Was there a Brandon...
Got what?
Cling-locked?
Cling-locked?
Oh, got his clock clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a Brandon Orr or Mike Orr?
I remember
I just feel like they had so many above-average running backs. It was like a stable of them.
Maybe an Andre in there somewhere. So Lee Suggs... yeah, I can't
whatever.
All right, we are about to wrap up this hour. Steven, let's closing thoughts on the offense, because we talked O-line. We'll talk a little more offense, but switch gears to defense as well in hour 3. But who, if anybody, has stood out to you offensively for the Pirates?
We touched on the offensive line, which I think has come a long way. I think the running backs, it's just so weird having a team with proven running backs. I feel like the running backs, at least the top 2, are more proven than the receiver position, because you're going to use 2 running backs primarily. Obviously, you need more, but then the receivers usually ECU is 5 to 6 deep. And I feel like this year it's not that way. I mean, we know Tyler Snead and we know C.J. Johnson. I think Shane Calhoun, haven't seen too much of it just due to we don't get to see a lot of team. But dating back to the spring at tight end, he's really been consistent. All this talk about Ryan Jones and Aaron Jarman. I think Shane Calhoun's got a chance to just become a really good player long term and this year.
Mike Houston talked about him today.
Yeah. The blocking, he struggled last year to block at times because he was a true freshman. He shouldn't have been playing as much as he did, but I think that will serve him well. And so I think he's got a chance to take a step forward. A couple of the younger receivers, Jari Patterson, the transfer from Marshall, have heard good things about him. Tyler Savage, Cam Burnett, Tajee Hudson. I think all those guys have a chance. It's just a matter of who's going to show up on game day. Receiver-wise, I feel like we've heard so much about so many guys over the years, and then out of nowhere, maybe one of those guys really becomes a guy on game day. Other guys kind of fade into not obscurity, but just don't become anything more than maybe a good practice player. So I feel like you've got to have that flair, that confidence to really exceed on game day as a receiver. Go over the middle, take a hit, show toughness, make a catch in front of a crowd. Like sometimes you just don't know, often like quarterback, how a guy's going to react till he's out there on game day.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist Colors, do you have anything to add, Chim?
I was going to go to the running backs. I hope to God that y'all haven't already mentioned this, but how's Pop McKay and Donald looking in the backfield?
I think Pop McKay looked good today. I mean, that was one thing that stood out to me. We got to watch the goal line short yardage drill, and he really didn't have much room to run. I mean, it basically seemed like the defense knew the run was coming, and they were crashing on it every single play. And he made something out of nothing. He made something out of nothing about 2 or 3 times, kind of slid forward. That really good running back feel that you'll just see guys kind of just like shake off an arm tackle or two. I like to call it the non-Anthony Scott, where you get touched and fall down. No disrespect to Anthony Scott, but he just could not break a tackle. And so it's good to see Pop McKay kind of fall in the mold of Rajay and Keaton, where you fall forward for yardage. Now, he's got a lot of the playbook to learn, so we'll see how much he contributes. But Coach Houston said today he thinks that he will help this year. Macy O'Donnell, I feel like, is going to play. I don't know how much he's going to play, but he's going to have some packages. I mean, he's consistently gotten second-team reps, and he looks good catching the ball out of the backfield. So I think right now, if I had to call it, those are probably your top 4 guys on the depth chart as it stands right now.
If I was a running back, just bear with me, folks. I know, yeah. But I would get my space. I would run north-south, and then a defender would come. I'd do a little chop, and I'd get touched and fall down, or either cut and fall down before the defender hit me, and then get up and slam the ball and be like, man. And I'd do this like I was so close. And I'd do that about 7 or 8 times.
Seems familiar.
Until, like, the fans realized that I was a crappy running back. Oh, but at the first 5 or 6 times, they'd be like, man, he almost broke it. He was so close.
He's so close to breaking one.
And I would get up mad, like, man, I had it, but I slipped. I'd start pointing to my cleats. But I feel like we see that a lot in football. And
we see that a lot from East Carolina running backs who aren't very good.
Well, yeah, could be better. Chandler, can you take us to break?
Surely can.
Okay. Surely she can.
Surely she can.
We will take a timeout, come back, hour 3 on the way. We got more with Igoe. We've got a conversation with Ron Cook, Farmville Central head football coach, and we'll make you a winner. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live after this.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available, from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
Hey Birdland, experience an Orioles game this season with the convenience and privacy of your very own suite. Choose from an array of options and prices to gather with family and friends or entertain clients. Each suite features climate-controlled interior seating, a private restroom, and comfortable outside seating. Plus, enjoy the best views of Camden Yards. Suites can accommodate 8 to 22 guests. Capacity is limited, so select your dates and purchase tickets now. Learn more about single-game suites at Orioles.com/suites.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome boat prices from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sun Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a number one priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success, and the combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard, conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on PRL here on a Tuesday, first day of pads, full pads for ECU football and fall camp. It's our Bud Light ECU report, brought to you by Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, the official beer of the ECU Pirates. And Igoe taught O-lines and some running backs as well. Let's hear from a couple of the running backs as today. So Igoe, you were there, and Jenny and Glenn did a great job with Pirate Radio covering fall camp and these interviews, but I was not there. Why did they do them as a duo? Was this requested? Was this something they wanted to do? Was it for fun? Why was Harris and Mitchell both at the podium?
I think it's just the push of both these guys are number one.
1A, 1B.
Yeah, like they don't want one or the other to be in the spotlight without the other, which, you know, it makes for a unique interview. It can be tough at times to get like a good quote if you're interviewing two guys at one time, but I thought they played off each other well, and I thought it was cool to experience that, and they seem to have a great relationship, which we saw during the interview. So I think we requested hey, we'll take one of the running backs, whichever one you want to give us.
You got a bonus.
If it's both, we'll take them both.
It was around 4 or 5 minutes. I cut it about in half, Shirley. Let's hear the first half of Mitchell and Harris today.
First team play today, you kind of lunged into the end zone there. Was that definitely a touchdown? Did you hear any grief from the defense or anything?
Oh yeah,
close.
They gonna argue. They gonna argue, but man, you stop me, you can't stop Key. You feel me? You stop Key, you can't stop me. So.
How much do you guys feed off each other just in the backfield right now?
100%, man, every day. Trying to compete every day.
Iron sharpen iron.
Iron sharpen iron, just like he said.
Yeah.
You guys have a nickname for yourself yet, or are you waiting for the defense?
We actually do. We drew it on the board. Yesterday?
Yeah.
Call him Icy.
Yeah.
Call me K3.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So y'all get used to that, man. Y'all get used to that.
Yeah.
Rajai, you look like you were pretty fired up after getting that first touchdown in contact for this team early in the practice. Talk about that and that whole period there a little bit.
It's been a little minute, man. We strap it up, So, the second week of fall camp will always be, a little shaky. Everybody's sore, everybody's tired. So, you got to have somebody to push through. I'm trying to lead the offense. Me and Keaton trying to lead the offense to be better every single day. So, I think I brought the energy today. Stay with it all day, Like I say, 1% better every day. Can't settle on today. Got to be better tomorrow.
With you guys being the second year, how much of a challenge is it both of you had such a great freshman year? How much of a challenge is it this year to exceed at being a sophomore now?
I mean, we both pushing for 1,000 yards each. 150, 250 a game.
Yeah, so keep us accountable for that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you still, Rajay, play with that chip on your shoulder? I mean, you played with it last year, even though you had a pretty good freshman year.
I ain't did nothing. Not yet. So, I'm still trying to get to a bowl game. We want the team goals. We're not too much focused on the independent.
There is part one of the dynamic duo, Harrison Mitchell. Lighthearted, fun, Igoe. Seems like they're having fun. Let's hit part two. Let's hear more from the running back duo for the Pirates.
Keaton, how cool is it that y'all still are freshmen? You played basically a full season, but you're still a freshman. You have 4 years left. Is that an advantage?
I think it's great.
It is great. I mean, we can only get better. Ain't no going backwards. So, yeah, we both push each other. So we both, make it to the league. We still going to push each other.
Definitely.
You don't feel like a freshman, right?
Oh, no.
What would you say the biggest difference from last year when you were coming into this year at this point is right now for you guys?
We came in, it's a lot about confidence. You see everybody, you see they bigger, they faster. So, you got to get that confidence. From day one, me and Keaton started off on the second field. Coach Houston was talking about this the other day. So we couldn't let that get to us, We could have stayed on the second field and just been mediocre or, come together and be great together to get on that first field.
Yeah. And also, me and Ra, push each other every day. Now that the defense slowed down, it just top speed. Now we know what's going on. It just slowed down
tremendously.
Rajay, do you give Keaton any flack? He's known as a big play guy, but you had the 80-yard touchdown last year. Do you give him any?
Oh yeah, man. I be telling him he's not faster than me. So we argue about that all the time.
It's crazy because me and Ra knew each other since 8 years old.
Yeah, we've been knowing.
He used to be faster than me, but not no more.
I was just gonna say, have y'all raced recently?
Not recently. But growing up, I had him though. I had him.
He did. He was this size at 8 years old.
But now, he got me now though. He got me.
Keaton, you broke off a few of those runs in camp and scrimmages. Are you hungry to do it in a game too?
Oh yeah, always hungry.
He better.
Always hungry.
He better.
Yeah.
He better.
You guys are talking about getting better every day. What are some of the things you guys feel you need to do to even raise your game another level?
We still got to continue to practice hard. The other guys, the young guys, are still trying to build and still trying to come get our spots, every day. We all cool, family, but, they want to be on the field also. So we got to, every day, like I said, 1%, just 1% better every day.
Yep.
Any young guys behind y'all running back that have impressed y'all thus far?
Proud of all of them.
All of them.
Proud of all of them. They catching on fast.
Yeah.
Real fast.
All right, there it is. Keaton Mitchell, Rajay Harris. I didn't know. So where are these guys from? Harris is South Carolina.
Harris is, upstate South Carolina. And then you got Keaton from the Atlanta area. So I didn't know that they knew each other.
That's pretty cool.
They were 8. So I meant to ask when they said that. This is poor reporting by me not to follow up. So hopefully, I'm sure we'll get another chance to talk to these guys.
Yeah.
Trying to figure that out.
Pretty cool to hear both of them together. It sounds like they have a great relationship, and hope that will carry on into the season. And how many rushes will running backs have against App State? 30? 32, 34?
I think 30 is a good number.
Okay.
I mean, because more than likely...
Let me look up just the regular game last year.
Maybe 35. I mean, it depends on how much they run Holton to, or how much...
Okay, I was running backs specifically.
I would say 30 to 35.
If there are 33 rushes in the game, how are they split?
To me, it's impossible.
You going hot hand?
Yeah, it's a possible question to answer. How
about 20? Like 19, 12, and 2. Maybe a Macy O'Donnell or somebody gets in trouble.
I think that based on last year, to me, Keaton, when he was fresh, he looked extremely explosive. Like, I remember early in the SMU game, he looked really good, and then kind of got worn down towards the end. Rajay almost looks like he's the guy who gets better as the game wears on due to his running style. So I think Rajay makes sense in terms of getting him more carries due to his size. Not that Keaton can't run between the tackles and be effective, because we saw that several times last year. But I just think you have to take into account body style, running style. Keaton's more prone to taking hits because he's more slender, whereas Rajay, although he runs with the physical style where he's dishing out punishment, he's going to need some time off too. So, I think it'll be close to a 50-50 split ideally, but I think Rajay probably more 55-60% of the touches.
And he's known as, like, and you kind of alluded to it. He's known as the bigger back between the two. Keaton Mitchell has shown he can break tackles, but Rajay, I don't know, he's looking a little slender to me. Like, good shape.
So I did the article, how much weight each guy's lost, and he is listed at 226. And I did that, and or maybe it was less than that, 222 something. But anyways, he reached out and he was like, "Hey man, I'm 215 now." So he slimmed down a little bit, and 215 obviously not a small running back. I mean, there's still a big back in college. So, but he looked like he has slimmed down some, a little bit more tone, quicker, and he has speed is the thing. His short acceleration in terms of when he hits the hole, like, it does not take him long at all to reach top speed, which is very good for a running back in terms of making explosive plays. So, I just think you have two really good backs. It's you got to do what you got to do to keep him healthy. You got to get him ready for the season. This preseason, clearly, but man, if you can roll into game one with those two backs healthy and your offensive line healthy, you got to feel good if you're Donnie Kirkpatrick.
My memory would have failed me on this one, Steven. I remember Darius Penix, obviously, game one last year. I remember Chase Hayden because he fumbled, right? But he played as well. But Penix so ECU had 42 non-QB rushes in the game. 13 for Penix, 9 for Hayden. Harris got 12 and Mitchell got 8, both as true freshmen, right?
Yeah, and they
right
both,
out of the gate.
It was mainly the second half. I think Mitchell got all of his carries in the fourth quarter when the game was a little out of hand. He made some plays.
Was this the game where they also, instead of, they ran the ball a lot in the second half?
They ran the ball a ton in the second half because they wanted to establish the run. And, and UCF was playing the pass, too. Obviously, when you're up that big. So you had a few big runs late. But, the South Florida game was really the one where those two guys broke out. I don't think anybody ran well versus Georgia State. But Rajay had the huge game against South Florida. And it was like, dang, where did this guy come from?
And he had the big run against the Midshipmen on October 17th. I wanted to look that up to see... and I guess at that point, Mike Houston was still maybe looking for his number one, or in week one or whatever it was, but week one against UCF. He knows his number one and number two this year, but do you still think we see Is he's a guy that's willing to play a true freshman if he thinks he can help the team.
100%. You can't just rely on 2 running backs. So you're going to see, to me, you're going to see Pop McKay play if he's healthy and he can handle the playbook. You're going to see at least one of those walk-ons contribute. So, I mean, I think it's definitely a case where you're going to see 3 to 4 backs weekly get snaps. I mean, even if you're only giving, Macy O'Donnell or Barnes or McKay 5 total snaps, at least you're giving both those guys a break. And it's very easily could happen where second series of the App State game, whoever Keaton or Rajay twists an ankle or something, and then you're rolling forward with one running back. I mean, that happens all the time with that position. So you just got to be ready to go.
All right, Igoe, don't say it was an even split. Who won in the plays you saw today in the trench warfare?
Defense.
Really?
I mean, defense won. They had the advantage of
they know it's going to be a run and everything.
Basically, I mean, the option was there to pass, but after like the first 3 plays where all ECU did was run, it became obvious that ECU was going to run the ball every play. So they were selling out completely to stop the run. The one time ECU threw the ball, Zach Bird was wide open. Nobody even covered him. Mason Garcia missed him because Emmanuel Hickman blew up Walt Stribling pretty good and knocked him back in Garcia's face. Garcia threw it off his back foot and couldn't get it to Bird. I mean, probably a throw he still should have made, but definitely the defense won. I was impressed by a number of guys. Rick DeBrew, we talked about it. I mean,
pretty rocked up.
He's rocked up and he's quick. Sarad Ware is a second-year defensive lineman, made some plays. Elijah Morris, Aaron Ramsour looked good. It's really good to see him healthy, man. He's a tackling machine when he is healthy and going good. So really impressed by just the defense's ability to kind of fly through the football all over the field.
Shirley, hit Blake Harrell cut 2. He was asked, have any of the guys surprised him so far? And I like his answer here.
Kind of the first one that pops in mind, I think we got several guys, first of all. And the one that pops in my mind that wasn't with us last fall, was with us 2 years ago, was Gerard Stringer. Gerard started a bunch of ball games 2 years ago. When I got here, he got hurt that spring. And during the COVID, tore his Achilles there, so he missed. I haven't got to see him on the grass, and he's been very impressive so far. Really, and he's really making Jair Wilson, competing with Jair, pushing him to make better. So I think we got iron sharpening iron there, and those 2 guys are pushing each other. And then the other guys, whether it's Aaron Ramsey stepping up and coming along, D'Angelo McKinney inside doing a good job. I want to say, but as usual, Juwan Powell in the back, all those guys are doing, but those guys I kind of expect to do that. Gerard's kind of been the biggest, a good surprise in a good way, and really pushing and playing at a first-team level right now.
That is great to hear. It's also interesting, this is the first time Blake Harrell's really been able to work with Gerard Stringer, right? Yeah. It's like a new player for him, who he was out in 2020. We saw the emergence in his absence of Jair Wilson. And now you have 2 guys there at that position that they like a lot. I guess, are they still running at the same position?
Yeah, as far as I know, Sam, you're having Jaira Stringer Mooney, which is a really good 3. Jonathan Coleman, who's a walk-on, who I think is pretty valuable and pretty good, is also working there. He's a good special teams guy. So you have good depth there. You have other guys that can slide down and play that position. My thing is there a way you can get Jaira and Gerard on the field at the same time? I mean, that's a lot of length. It's a good problem to have when you're all of a sudden having a situation where, how do we get this defensive guy on the field? In the past, when have we ever had that conversation? It's like, do we have 11 guys that can play?
2 years ago, you had to have Stringer on the field. He
had to play. He had nobody. I can't even remember who his backup was that year. I don't know.
Last year, you had to keep Jair on the field because he was making plays.
The guy. I mean,
this year, one of those could be staying on the sideline looking at the other one.
The only guy that played behind Jair last year was Tegan Wilk, who was a true freshman. Probably didn't really, wasn't really in a position where he needed to play a whole bunch. And luckily, Jair stayed healthy. But it's just such a better situation that ECU finds itself in now where, hey, if Jair is not 100%, you can put in a guy who started 12 games in 2019 and played at a pretty good level. I mean, he wasn't elite, but he was good. Gerard Stringer was. He graded out well in Pro Football Focus that year. So Yeah, I mean, and at worst, now you can put Gerard Stringer on special teams, and that's a starting caliber player you have playing on special teams, and a guy who's a good tackler. So you just have so much more depth now. I mean, I just look at that safety room, and I'm like, how do you decide when to rotate these guys? How do you divvy up all the reps? So it's going to be an interesting preseason to see how it plays out with so many of those guys competing for playing time.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors. Great to have you back in studio, Igoe. We'll talk to you again next week. Anything, you got a ton going on right now at HTC. Anything in particular to plug?
Just a ton of our VIP practice observations where we kind of go, really in depth on the personnel, who's looking good, who's working where. Lots of stuff that you can't find normally as far as coverage. We go super in depth. We have all the post practice comments from Mike Houston in written form along with audio, and just continue to roll out stories. We're trying to hit different angles. Of course, we a lot of us media get the same things as far as interviews, but we trying to hit some different things, different topics, different angles, and it's good that this year we're having more player access because we can now talk to different guys, get different perspectives. Like it's really interesting to hear Xavier Smith's perspective on playing two different positions at one time. He's basically like, it's hard, but I'm willing to do it for the team. I think it's refreshing that he admits that, hey, he's probably more comfortable playing inside linebacker because that's what he's done for 2 years now. But I think if you want to get your best defensive players on the field, like Xavier Smith, Ram Sewell, Bruce Bivens at the same time, then you have to move them around. So we kind of hit on a lot of that stuff, photo galleries, all sorts of stuff, and recruiting. Big recruiting news, I think, coming later this month from what I hear. So be on the lookout for that. We've kind of touched on that in our VIP recruiting thread on the website.
Good stuff, Steven. Appreciate it, man. And tell Slater I said, what's up?
I will. I'll do that.
All right.
I'm sure he'll respond.
Let's take a time out. We will come back. I tell you what, Shirley, you want to do booty bag now? Let's do it right now. Let's open it up at this moment.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250. What are we giving away today?
I am going to give away a Hungry Pirate courtesy of Chico's.
I'm hungry. That'd be really good right now. All right, what caller are we looking for?
Caller 8.
All right, we will be back. We will talk to the new head football coach at Farmville Central High School, Ron Cook, when we return. Rejoin. That should be a word, too. We're back after this.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Hey, Troy D here for my friends at Villa Verde. If you know me, you know I love being outside, but finding a good place to eat outside can sometimes be tough. Well, our pals at Villa Verde have fixed that. Not only does Villa Verde have awesome, unique, one-of-a-kind dishes here in Greenville, they also have a brand new outside dining area. And this outside area is sweet. It's covered, you're in the shade, and cooling fans are on. Enjoy the comfort and relaxation of dining outside with our friends at Villa Verde. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has a saltwater heated pool, perfect for athletes with ankle and knee injuries that will allow you to start training and running sooner during the recovery period.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Hardscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then call Carolina Hardscapes at 364-1201. It is the place to call, or you can stop by the Carolina Hardscapes outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road, right across from Boston Sugg Furniture. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Hardscapes. And congratulations to John Moody, who picked up the Hungry Pirate courtesy of Chico's. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more, plus ice-cold cervezas, and Chico's famous margaritas are always available. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's. Now, let's head back into the shoe.
Interesting. Shirley earlier in the show says, what does John Moody know?
Yeah.
He knows how to win.
Yeah.
He knows how to dial a phone.
In your face, Shirley Rhodes.
Not in my face. I'm the one that controls the phone. If I really didn't want John Moody to win, I could just say, "Oh no, you're caller 7." I don't know what
Shirley
you're talking
pulled a you're a winner. Who is this? John Moody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We call number 9.
Oh wait, hold on a second. What caller was that? Caller 8? Oh no, I'm sorry, John. It was actually caller 10. I was actually looking for.
Shirley has integrity. She would never do such a thing.
John Moody.
I have made a mistake where I did call for caller 10. But in my brain, I was thinking caller 8, and I have made that mistake, but not today.
John Moody, a P1 listener, and our eyes in the sky when it comes to practices, going by practice.
Saying practice.
Practice.
All right, let's talk some high school football and talk to the new head football coach of the Farmville Central Jaguars. He is Ron Cook, who joins us for the first time here on Pirate Radio Live on the Fixed NC Live line. Coach, appreciate your time. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Cliff. Thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to a fall football season. We had some interesting times, of course, in the spring playing football, a very short off season, and we'll discuss that. But first, Coach, let's get to know you a little bit. Before you got to Farmville Central, of course, you were over at Pamlico. What can you give us your background as a football guy, as a football coach, and everything you've done kind of leading up to this Farmville Central job?
Well, I guess I'd have to kind of start at the beginning. As far as my football background, I was raised in New Jersey, Montclair, in Montclair High School, where I went to school, graduated from. There's a very rich football tradition there. Won the state championship, been to 3 state championships in a row. While I was in high school, won 2 of them, and that's just, I guess, part of where my background comes from. There is just we've always been in a winning program, having a winning mindset, and how to build those championship type programs. And from there, I went on to play at Virginia Tech, and for 3 years. In my last year, finished up at the University of Delaware, played there, and then immediately got into coaching right after high school. Right after college. I started coaching in high school, and then went on to coach a few years in college at a couple D2 schools and D3 school at Montclair State University, where I got my first start in college football. And then from there, just landed in North Carolina, coached a little bit in Texas for 2 years. After I got my first head coaching job at Red Springs High School, I was there for 3 years. Then I had a buddy that got a job in Texas, and he had an opportunity, needed some help, and hired me, and needed strength and conditioning coordinator, special teams coordinator. So he hired me there, and there was an opportunity to go coach football in Texas. So it wasn't really tell him no. And ended up coming back just because it's just being from Jersey, my wife's from Virginia. We just didn't have many family out there at all. And only way we see family this is just by getting on a plane. So it's really the only reason we came back this way. And that's when I ended up at Pamlico County. Just had an opening and applied there, and we had a decent run there. I was only there for 2 seasons before seeing this opportunity at Farmville Central, and that's where I am now.
Quite a journey. Ron Cook joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Coach, football has taken you a lot of different places, as you said just there. At what point did you know you wanted to get into the coaching aspect of it, and that was going to become your life? Was that when you were a player there at Virginia Tech, or once you got out of school?
Well, I've always in my life, even in college, we're still trying to find out what we want to do with our lives. I think initially when I went to college, I thought I wanted to major in accounting. That's just because I think one of my dad's friends making a lot of money, and then I saw how much more math you got to do. So that was what I was doing. But I did always have a passion for working with kids. I knew I wanted to do something like that. I even looked into being a school counselor. But yeah, in the coaching part, I always tell everyone the first, I think, time that it got, I got the coaching bug or fire was little me is when I had a break to come home from school during the fall when I was redshirted, and I went to see my little cousin play in the Pop Warner League, and I'm watching the drills that they're doing, and some of which I did when I was playing at that age, and it didn't make sense. And I'm thinking to myself, because of what I've learned and what I'm being taught at a Division I school, it's like I can do this, and I can help these kids out more than that, and actually give them something to learn. That's when I knew I probably wanted to coach. And then, like I said, right after college, I immediately got into one of my position coaches from high school, was a head coach at that time, and he gave me my first job and opportunity to be on his staff as a special teams coordinator, help with strength and conditioning, and I was coaching linebackers.
And Coach, according to the page I'm looking at, it says you had received offers from Virginia Tech, Iowa, Wisconsin, and the U down in Miami. What do you remember about your recruitment there in the 90s to those big time schools?
I'll be honest. I got a letter from you. They didn't officially offer.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I might have. I mean, it wasn't like it looks good now seeing with the 30 for 30 looking back. I probably would have definitely considered, but no, they never offered me. So I'll just say that I did get letters from them, and it was just recruiting back then. There's a lot. It's funny now. My kids ask me, "What star? How many stars?" Do you have? We didn't have stars. I was just late '90s. It's just they looked at film and they thought you was good. You got offered. Max Press and all that wasn't really a thing back then. So in my recruitment, I was one of the first in my immediate family to go to college, especially playing football. And so my parents and I didn't really know much about the process. And Virginia Tech offered me. I remember the end of my junior year, my head coach came, see me in the cafeteria during lunch and said, and he wanted to talk to me. He said, Virginia Tech just offered you a scholarship. And I said, that's good. Who's Virginia Tech? So it wasn't like it is now. But I had family in Virginia, that in Farmville, Virginia. So and that's to see how God works, how that comes around. I actually had family in Farmville, Virginia, and that was not far from Tech at all. So I would stay, with them. My parents and I would drive down and stay with my family in Farmville and go take a couple of official visits that summer at Virginia Tech. And what really brought me in is just meeting with Coach Foster and just how passionate he was about dealing. I'm and energetic. That's the type of guy, type of player I was and am as a coach. It's just the energy that he brought, just talking. Like he wasn't even coaching, just talking to me about the defense and where I'd possibly be playing and things like that. So by the end of the summer, I ended up committing, and so my recruiting was kind of short, and I honored my commitment. We didn't have Twitter or anything back then, so I wasn't putting it out there and all that. So I had a couple schools come in later, like West Virginia, and I was actually around for a while, but once I committed, that was it for me. And I didn't even take my 5 visits. I committed. I wanted to get over it and focus on my senior year because I had a goal to win the state championship. We lost my junior year, and it stuck with me. The morning after until I got the win in my senior year. So.
Ron Cook joining us, head coach at Farmville Central. Coach, before we get to your Jaguars, I'm trying to think about the how it lines up. I remember going to the Thursday night East Carolina Virginia Tech game, Michael Vick versus David Garrard. I don't know. Did you have any run-ins with the Pirates during your career? Were you around during that time?
Yes, I played in that game.
Yeah.
And you think about Gerard was one of the biggest that ever tried to tackle, chase, and he can move and be that size. So that was it. That was our Thursday night game at CU. And funny enough, I played a little bit of. At that time, I've been moved to. In high school, I was recruited as outside linebacker, but at Tech, after my redshirt freshman year, I moved to defensive end. And I guess that was kind of a sign of where I would be coaching wise, because I was able to play all 4 positions of the defensive line. Now, I wasn't recommended at 235 D tackle, but it helped me get playing time because coaches can move me in any one of the 4 positions on the line. So I say that because at that game, I played a little bit of D tackle, with 300 pounds in front of me, and along with some reps of defensive end. So.
And we can tell people that the Pirates held Michael Vick to like 125 passing yards, but the bad news is the Hokies scored 45. You guys scored a special teams touchdown. That was the MO. What was it like being part of Beamer Ball? And you could say it's a cliche, but man, you guys would score on special teams just about every week.
Well, it's a huge emphasis of where I'm at now, as far as or where I've always been, to be honest, with my foundation and philosophies and coaching. Especially in high school, I'm huge on special teams just because of Coach Beamer and how our practices will run there. And Coach Beamer, you really only heard him speak 3 times, in a practice, before practice, end of practice, and the one time when he would actually come down and really be involved in coaching was during special teams practice. And that has made it was always a huge impact, for me, and again, it stuck with me. Throughout my career when I coached, I've always been involved in special teams. Every school I've been at, I've been a part of. Every program I've coached with. Like I said, was one of my titles in Texas. I was special teams coordinator and strength discipline, and we had some really good special teams. We scored a lot of touchdowns in Texas. And to be honest, over my career, in the last several years, I honestly can't remember a season where we didn't block a punt, score, and kick off returns in the past couple of seasons. as far as the teams that I've been part of. So, and that's due to, like I said, what my foundation is being part of Virginia Tech and Coach Beamer's special teams philosophy.
Ron Cook joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Coach, Farmville Central, great football tradition, but has been down in recent years. And, you know, before you start winning on the field, I've heard coaches talk about this. You've got to develop that culture. You got to develop the practice habits before you can get the wins on Friday night. So how have you kind of gone about doing that, Coach, focusing on the little things with your guys to hopefully build up to success in the long run?
Well, we've been out here again, got into some kind of normalcy since June 3rd, just after June 3rd, my first time coming down here after I've been hired and working during the summer. So, and I would say that they picked on it pretty fast. They found out also pretty quickly, you know, type of coach I am as far as philosophy and just doing things the right way, doing things, you know, fast. You know, that's one of our mantras, is being fast, physical, and finishing everything we do. And like you said, just learning how to practice with efficiency, learning how to practice to prepare for games. And their first week, you know, I'll be honest, the first week is a little tough for them because it's just things that they've never done before. It's just a different way in how we're doing things as far as, you know, the pace in which we practice with, even in the weight room, the pace that we move around in the weight room, get set up, you know, for different exercises, get cleaned up afterwards. It's just an attitude. And I always say culture, you know, it is a big buzzword in coach talk, coach speaking in the community, especially in football community. But I always say, and I told them my first day, culture is just not, you know, what you say you do, but how you do it. And it's the biggest thing. They're learning how we're going to do things to be champions and to bring the winning culture back to, you know, Farmville Central football.
Coach, one more, I'll let you run. Who are some of the players that you're seeing day in, day out of practice that you're excited to see on the field on Friday nights? Who are some of the guys you'll be counting on this fall?
We've got a lot of, I think we have a lot of skill guys that will be able to make plays for us, that'll be able to put some points on the board, along with, you know, some linemen. But one of the skill guys that sticks out a lot to me this senior is Malachi Wolf. He's very quick. He seems to have a lot of speed, and we're going to find out, you know, start to find out for sure tomorrow in our first scrimmage at Riverside High School at 6:30. Shameless plug. But Malachi will probably be a big player for us. We got a good quarterback battle going on right now between the junior and the sophomore. The sophomore is Landon Barnes. The junior is Brandon Knight. T-Shawn Brock will be a good player for us, both sides of the ball. He's 6'2", 6'3" receiver in safety. And then defensive lineman, Jaden Sexton. It was actually his first time playing this past spring as a sophomore. And I think he's going to be, after this season, he may start to hear his name and know his name a little bit more. And there's several other guys, you know, that's a possibility. Again, we'll find out for sure tomorrow night when we actually get to see some other competition that we get to go up against.
That's great. Scrimmage this week and the real thing beginning next Friday night, Farmville Central football 2021. Coach, we'll let you run. I'm just curious, and you were a tremendous athlete talking about your playing football there at Virginia Tech. Have you, just curious, have you tried to get on the basketball court with any of those guys there in Farmville? It's a basketball factory over there. Could you hang with the high school kids?
I'll be honest, at this point, the only reason I say no is I can't jump as soon as much as I used to. I had a pretty good vertical at Virginia Tech, and that's definitely not the same anymore. So maybe half court, I may have a chance.
Okay.
I know the game a little better mentally. I'll be able to outplay it, but no, I'm not running full court with anybody no more, especially that age.
Ron, great to get to know you, man. I appreciate you joining us here on Pirate Radio, and we'll keep in touch. We'll talk to you again during the season, but best of luck this year one at Farmville Central, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you very much, Bill. I really appreciate you having me.
There is Ron Cook, the head football coach of Farmville Central. Talk about coaches, you know, winning the interview and winning the press conference. That's the first time I've had an opportunity to talk to him. Shirley, Farmville Central struggling right now within their football program. You never know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to say just based off that and others I've talked to, I think Farmville Central made a great hire for their head football coach. I really liked talking to Ron there.
Yeah, I was like you. This is the first time I'm actually hearing, what he has to say as far as coming in and taking over the football program, and so far I'm impressed. And sometimes you need to kind of, and not that there's anything wrong with staying local, but the past few head football coaches that Farmville Central has had have been local guys, and there's nothing wrong with that because the kids, a lot of them, and especially in a town like Farmville, everybody knows everybody pretty much, and so at some point you're going to cross paths with some of those kids that are going to eventually come up the ranks and play high school football. So there's that camaraderie there, but every once in a while it's not a bad idea to bring somebody who is new to the area and bring in a fresh perspective, and I think that's what he brings, and I'm pretty interested to see how things play out this season.
Yeah, it makes it a unique hire in that way, kind of an outside hire where you go out of the Jags family, so to speak. Somebody that has no ties to the program and to Farmville, and sometimes you need those fresh eyes. So we'll see. Hopefully it works out for the Jags coming up this year and beyond. All right, we'll get another break in. We'll come back. We'll have more Pirate Radio Live for you here on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic's award-winning staff features a TPI golf specialist that offers assessments and rehab to help you get back on the course and playing your best.
This is Dr. Shondell Jones, and you deserve to live well. Call us at 364-2806 or visit kptonline.com. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Enclave and save over $5,250 or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership. Savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again. 2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Friday, August 13th for the Halloween jersey giveaway, presented by Spirit Aero Systems. Free to the first 1,000 fans. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium when gates open at 5 and first pitch is at 6. Go Woodies!
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
Have you stopped doing your favorite activity due to chronic aches and pains? Let Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab help. They provide regenerative injection therapy that can help with osteoarthritis, joint pain, carpal tunnel, and plantar fasciitis. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab will help you get back into the groove. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab, 2245 Stantonsburg Road, across from the hospital. Call 215-9294 for an appointment today. The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Look for Sparky Snowballs location at the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road, and remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com.
Pirate Radio.
Actual pirate.
Obviously. Duh. The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Carolina Heartscapes. Making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio fireplace, pool walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Heartscapes is the place to call. Get started on your dreams today at Carolina Heartscapes on Fire Tower Road, across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. I saw No Fun League trending today, and I guess that was in regards to I saw a tweet where apparently one of the things the NFL is going to try to crack down on in 2021 is taunting, and they are going to be throwing out more penalties for taunting and looking for taunting. And I mean, as a fan, there is nothing that fires me up more than if Chase Young would sling Dak Prescott to the ground, point at him, scream. Like, I would be going crazy at my house watching that. Maybe it's not the best thing, but, like, I don't know. Let them talk, let them react, let them have fun, it fires me up watching the game.
So should they just quit celebrations altogether?
Well, you can still, the old don't show up the opponent.
There's going to be so many times. This is going to go so wrong because there's going to be so many times where they think that they're taunting when they were not directing anything towards that team. They might get up from a big hit and maybe spin the ball or.
Now, DBs are guilty of this. They over-celebrate an incomplete pass like they actually did something. But there's going to be a time where they knock a pass away on a third down. They stand up. The receiver stands up at the same time. The defender does the incomplete sign, and he's looking at the guy. Flag, 15 yards, first down.
Well, then make it a reviewable play. If that's what you're going to... you know what I'm saying? I mean, This is stupid. This is stupid. It's a professional football league. If I am a professional defensive player and I lay the wood on you, you best believe I'm going to stand right in front of you. You okay, man? Get on up, man.
Standing over top of a guy, like, I don't know. I think it adds to the fun when I watch a football game.
I absolutely do. Now, look.
I want my guys to hate the other team as much as I do.
Exactly. Now, look, if we're talking about like a Pop Warner game, okay, no, I don't want you taunting.
Yeah.
But, this is a professional league where the players are paid to play. You are paid to basically lay the wood and take out the other opponent. So, yeah, celebrate. Taunt if you have to. I would sit right there and make all sorts of things in front of you.
If you got dumbasses like Norman and Odell launching their helmets at each other like missiles, then find them, throw them out, whatever. But just talking, talking
Yeah,
is talking.
I mean,
that game.
It's a game. They trash talk each other all the time.
That game. We love the chippiness of football.
Yes.
But I remember watching that game as a senior in high school. That actually was very scary the way those two acted in that game. It was scary.
I would say mostly Beckham, right?
Because Beckham was going at it the whole time, and then he literally like lunged and like a torpedo at Josh Norman's head.
Yeah.
Like it was to the point where I was sitting there and I remember thinking, this is getting out of hand. Like, this is insane. This is crazy.
Yeah, but that's just improper technique.
But also, that's going down.
No. What I'm saying is,
there was no technique.
It was just they were ticked off at each other.
Yeah.
They got into each other's heads, and they just started going at it. That's completely different. To me, that's basically a fight. I'm talking about when you make a solid tackle, or you break up a pass, or you whatever the case may be, and you want to celebrate, and you want to kind of let the other guy know, hey, I beat you on this one. I don't have a problem with that. Now, when they're going at each other and launching at each other and that type of thing, that's taking it too far. But the taunting part of it, as far as trash talking and making gestures, I don't have a problem with that.
And what does that mean too? Like, I like when a guy like Antonio Gibson last year on Thanksgiving, running in a touchdown, looks back at two Cowboys guys and does a little wave.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Running around the house, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
One of the coolest touchdowns ever was Deshaun Jackson, who's been an idiot at the goal line before, but he has a long touchdown catch and run against the Cowboys, and he goes right to the goal line, turns around,
and just falls back,
spreads his arms out, and falls
back.
out.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing ever. It looks so cool.
Now Terrell Owens running back to the star, that's a little different.
No, I don't find that different.
I mean, the Cowboys policed it themselves. George Teague went out there and knocked the crap out of him.
Yeah, he did.
And see,
how about
it's
your
a physical
guy?
game.
Hold on. Yeah, you're right. Too much dancing after touchdowns.
I have no problem with that.
You just said it was different. You just said that was too much. Cam did like 10-minute performances. Was that upsetting for you?
Terrell Owens ran 50 yards to the star, dude.
Are you the Tennessee mom that complained about Cam dancing at the Titans game? Is that you, Karen?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. But no, I didn't mind that. I didn't mind. Look, we're talking about Terrell Owens sprinting 50 yards
I know.
and standing on the
It was
star.
definitely too much. I'm glad the Cowboys did something about it. But
the thing, I loved Cam's, theatrics. I loved it. A lot of people didn't, obviously. But the thing about Cam Newton is that he was such a sore loser, man. And when things didn't go his way, he was so grumpy. And I was like, dude, two drives ago, you were dancing, acting like a fool, and now you've got the towel on top of your head, looking like someone died in your family.
You got to be able to take it if you dish it.
Right, exactly. That was the only problem I had with Cam. By the way, Cam looking good in Patriots.
Who was the guy that? See, here's the thing: you could almost literally try to take the taunting into the area of touchdown celebrations, because technically that's taunting.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
earlier.
I mean, you're talking about guys that are, like when the Raiders had that one touchdown where, as a matter of fact, I believe it was Zay that caught that touchdown pass, where it was like a bowling, like they acted like they were bowling pins.
I don't think celebrations will be a problem.
Well, see, but if you think about it, that is a level of taunting.
Yeah. Well,
so you have to define
probably more the
what
standing over a guy you tackled and getting in the face. And
no, you should. You should. If your job is to tackle somebody and knock them to the ground. Look, if I'm the one that my job is to knock somebody, let's say I'm a linebacker, and I just get a wallop of a hit, I'm going to stand over you.
I tell you what.
Hey, guess what? I earned my paycheck today.
Mic'd up segments are not going to be as fun, because I mean, is taunting going to be where they kind of chuck you out of bounds and they're talking on the way back to the
again? I think they'll still allow some talk. There might not even be anything to this. It might be like when they said when you lower the crown of your helmet as a runner and
Initiate
contact, we're going to throw a flag. They never throw a flag for that. It happens every game 20 times. So it might be one of those things where they just say they're going to do it and not do it.
So was taunting not? Were they missing out on taunting in previous years? I feel like they've done a good job of.
Is there a big outcry that they need to throw more flags on taunting?
No, I don't understand. They should have eliminated that rule altogether.
All right, there you go.
That is Shirley's
Shirley
opinion.
is old school.
Shirley and Redbeard.
What is football? It's two groups of people.
Two little butt cheeks.
Trying to kill each other over a little tiny ball.
By the way, Hard Knocks debuts tonight.
Oh, nice.
So
go for it.
All right, we will see you Wednesday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. Don't forget, big announcement coming up Wednesday at noon. It begins at noon.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It is a big deal we're doing here at Pirate Radio for the first time ever. That'll be announced at noon on Wednesday. We'll see you at 3 o'clock on Wednesday on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7.